Chat, if you do not know who this guy is, just spam Giga Chat, and he looks like that guy. Okay? So this is... No, Dave, you take the front seat. Come on.
Oh, well, thank you. You can take this.
You're the one driving this place.
Yeah.
All right. This is Dave, chat. So Dave wants to tell fun stories.
Wait, how do I know if I'm on the camera or not? Where's that thing?
It's right there. You're on camera. I zoomed out so they can see you.
Oh, that's nice. Did you actually?
Yeah, I swear.
Awesome.
Chat, this is Dave. Now, Dave, you know what? They're not going to believe anything I say, so you just tell them everything.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Matt's friend from college. We went to school together, like freshman roommate situation. And, yeah, Matt has told me many times that Chet never believes anything about his life because he has a tendency to talk really fast and just say whatever comes to his mind.
No, that's not it. Dave, they just don't believe anything I say because they're stupid fucks.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but no, they seem nice. But no, I just wanted to come and tell some stories that make it clear that Matt is a real person who acts like how he does on stream in real life. And one of my favorites of these was in college. I transferred after a couple of years, but we were still obviously very, very close. And Matt came to visit me one time after break.
This story's so bad. Chat, mods, enable Pepe Paints for this one. I cannot listen to this story. It is so cringy. So you guys are going to find it funny, but holy fuck do I hate it. Dave, get closer to the mic.
Oh, okay. But anyway, yeah, so I like touched on this story the last time I was here, but like the full story is that over that break, I don't remember.
Now, Dave, remember.
Yeah.
Twitch streamers shed viewers all the time, especially me. They come in, they realize I'm not really doing anything, and there's no girls. Right. They leave.
Okay.
None of these people have probably heard this story. Pretend it's a whole new audience.
A whole new audience. All right. So anyway, yeah. So over the break, Matt, I think it was Thanksgiving or the December break. I don't remember which one.
What year, Dave?
This would have been 2016. Yeah, before he was streaming or anything, right? And Matt over break had gone to his hometown and he had a really good time at a bar. Met a girl there. They went on a date to Chipotle.
I'll tell this part of the story, so everyone just don't listen to this part. Chat, I went to a bar, right? And I met this girl. Dude, hourglass figure I had. This girl was hot as hell, though. And she was the head of a sorority at his school.
At my school. Or the school I had transferred to. She was a sorority president there.
You're not going to believe it. She was the head of sorority. She's like, yeah, I run that shit. So, you know sorority sisters be bussin'.
Yeah. No, actually, this sorority specifically was known as one of like the more like there's some sororities at colleges where it's like part of the selection criteria is that like you're hot almost, and they did that.
So chat, I got her number. We went on a date. I went to Chipotle with her, not sponsored, and we went to Chipotle. When I was driving her home, we stopped at a stoplight. I started making out with her.
That is not different than the story that we heard back in college, at least. And it seemed legitimate because there was this nightclub that everyone in my college went to right on the waterfront. We were in New Jersey, and Matt was like, "Hey, like I'm gonna come up and visit you." And we go, like, I know there's like that nightclub you go to every Thursday night, student night, $5 at the door. And he said, and I'm going to come up and meet that girl who I was making out with over break. And I was like, hey,
chat, I'm not happy. This story is so cringe. It's the cringiest. It is the cringiest story you will ever hear about me in your life. Dave is my memory, chat. So here's how this works. I don't remember anything about my life. Okay, you know this guy, chat? Hold on. Dave's this guy. Except for Dave's a little bit taller.
My word! The exclusive world.
You should leave the way you came. Unless you want to become a stuffed head of anthropology.
So Dave's that guy. Dave, keep going.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, so... where was I? Oh, right. Yeah, so Matt, he comes up to visit... And I usually go over with I was on the volleyball team at my school. So I'd go to this nightclub with all my volleyball guys. I drove a van in college. We all getting in together and roll over. We brought Matt with us. He did not fit in with the rest of the volleyball team.
Dave doesn't drink.
Yep.
Dave's classic thing is he just drinks only water. Because he's a Giga Chad. Why would he ruin that temple of a body with any disgusting foul things. So Dave only drinks water because his body is a fountain of purity.
Fountain of purity.
Keep going, Dave.
But anyway, no. So I only drink water. So I would always drive to the club because I was designated driver because I didn't care whether I was drinking or not. So anyway, on the way over, somehow it comes up. You're like, oh, like, who the heck is this guy? He's like way smaller than the rest of the volleyball team and stuff.
Yeah, Chad. Keep in mind, he's on the volleyball team. Who would have thought, right? Okay? He's on the volleyball team. And I'm rolling up with all Dave's friends. Chad, I'm 5'7".
No, he's fine. I think he's
His
fine.
friends are all 6'5" to 6'8".
No, there was the shortest guy on the team was 6 foot, but that was you definitely didn't fit in properly. But anyway, he was trying to strike up conversation like you do, like meeting people, and somehow the topic of Twitch came up, and one of the guys.
I can't. I should not have let you tell this story. It's so cringe.
And one of the guys is like, he mentions that he also knows the streamer Ice Poseidon.
I hate this story.
So Matt liked Ice Poseidon a lot, and this guy also like knew who he was. Like he like saw him on Reddit one time.
I'm calling Esper to turn off my stream. This is so cringe. It gets so bad.
Shut up. Wait, what are you doing?
Oh god, I hate this story makes me cringe. It gets so bad. He knows it's the worst story. I can't.
Yeah, I like to. I want to open with it because it makes him look so bad. But anyways, so like,
You gotta come downstairs and hear how cringe I am.
I thought you were calling Esper.
Right, you gotta hear. This is the cringiest thing. If you want to know who you're hanging out with, it is you have to hear how cringy this story is. It is bad.
Okay, give me a minute.
Dude, Dave, I'm telling you.
Should I actually wait for her?
Yeah, restart the whole story.
Okay.
Because Simply already knows the story. I think you told Slick this before. Chat,
Yeah.
I'm letting you know something. It is the cringiest story you'll ever hear with me. But this is the real cringiest story.
Yeah.
And this story, I really don't want to listen to it. I left the room when you told it last night. It makes me...
He got so upset.
It makes me uncomfortable how cringy I was.
Yeah.
It legitimately makes me more... I feel...
Because the problem is that oftentimes he does weird stuff intentionally, and he's like, ha, like, look how funny that was. And this night, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually, like, there might be something wrong with me. Is there something wrong with me? And I was like, I don't know, man.
Oh, my God.
Hey, but you did your best.
No, chat, I was not in respect mode, okay? I was in... It was like... You know in the movie, it's a very famous movie, it's called The Social Network. The Social Network. I was like...
He brings this up because we just watched this like 2 nights ago, and he was like, and we went to watch this movie, and I was like, man, have you not seen The Social Network? It was like a really well-known movie back in 2010. He's like, no, I've never seen it before, and I distinctly remember that our freshman year, he told me that he had watched it. He was like, yeah, I watched this. And like, I don't want to join a fraternity here. Like the fraternities in the Social Network seemed so much cooler, but they were like, that was Harvard, obviously. And then he's like, yeah, I've never seen this movie before. I'm like, man, oh my gosh, your memory is shot.
Yes.
It's shot.
Yes, it is. Dave has to chat. So Dave in college was my memory. Yeah. He'd be like, Matt, remember you did this 5 minutes ago? And he's like, well, the RA is coming to tell you to stop doing it. I'm like, what'd I do? I wouldn't even know what I did. And chat, actually, one time, one of my RAs in my school, I started calling him a raincoat.
That's true, yeah. Matt had 2 slurs he used in college. He called people raincoats, and he called people beanbags.
Thank you, Dave. We're not going to talk about high school, chat. Just college.
Yeah, he called people raincoats, and yeah, there was that RA who, it was like the first week of school. Like, you made an enemy almost immediately.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, chat, I called people beanbags a lot. But I also gave people nicknames, right? So I gave this guy the nickname, and the nickname was Raincoat, and he fucking hated me.
Yep.
Here, tell one of the other stories before the cringiest one.
About raincoats?
No, because you're saying the Ice Poseidon story for last.
All right. Oh, we're just teasing them.
Yeah.
To start off, yeah. All right, there was another situation. Matt, if you look at him, he's like a fairly good-looking guy. When he like takes care of himself, not right now. But then he back then was like actually very good-looking. Like he was like a wrestler and stuff, like in good shape, like more tight in the gut and everything. So like definitely was doing yeah, like that. So he was like doing very well with girls, and there was a girl who lived on the floor right above us in our freshman apartment, who like, oh wait, no, Emmy's here. Do I need to pause this story now? Go back to
No, this story's not as cringe. Emmy,
Okay.
okay. Everyone else heard the story last night. You're the only one that didn't hear the worst, cringiest story of the entire world. I want you to hear it so that way you realize you should never hang out with me again. It gets really bad. Continue.
with the story I'm currently telling.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there was this girl who lived on the floor above us, like very attractive girl, like one of the more attractive girls in the freshman class. All right, and Matt was like feeling real good, like cool guy. Everyone was like, oh wow, like
First week, boys, I was macking on the hottest girl.
Like
First
almost
week.
right away, almost immediately. And this is before he had like really opened up, and he was like pretending to kind of be a normal person a little bit. Weird time, honestly, looking back at it. But anyway. So he's getting with this girl for a bit, and he realizes that actually he has feelings. And this was 2013. If you're gonna write the year down on the board, you don't have to.
No, they're writing it down probably.
Yeah. So this is in 2013 in like late August or early September, and he's getting with this like beautiful girl, and he decides to switch it up. And again, he said he had made nicknames for everyone. His nickname for that girl was Cookie, not for any particular reason, but because she like was a baker person. But anyway, so she had a roommate, and Matt decided that he actually had feelings for the roommate. The only problem being that the roommate like hated him, like didn't like him at all, like thought he was a real annoying piece of shit, and like was kind of like more closed off and not as attractive, like attractive in her own way certainly, but like not like the sort of like
huge bitch chat. An absolute
not
fucking
what
bitch
she
she was.
was, no.
She was such a fucking bitch. But I loved it. Why, chat? I love the hunt. Alright? I don't care about the kill. Alright? That's why I got so skinny. Chat, I'm telling you, I love the hunt of the women.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and this girl ignored me, hated me, didn't care about me. The other one, yeah, she was fucking hot, She was S tier for sure. She looked like a young Sheba Lonke.
Wait, what? Oh, the hunt.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
So chat, this girl was hot as hell. But the other girl, she was a baddie, bro. But on God, it's like when you have Pokemon Yellow and then you get Pokemon Blue. Like, you already have the best version. Why are you going for the shittier version?
Yeah. And also, like, the blue hates you when it's broken.
Dude, chat, Dave, they love your Giga Chadness. Dave, you literally are that emote. Like, I don't think there's anyone in this world that looks more like the Giga Chad emote than you do.
No, that's a real guy.
I know, but...
And I would love to look like him, my lord. But
you look like that guy more than anyone I've ever seen on Twitch. You look like that guy.
Well, thanks, man. That's
and that emote is popping right. It's the most popular emote on Twitch. You're literally just there vibrating Giga Chads. But keep going.
Anyway, so you want me to tell the story all the way to the end?
Yes.
Like even with Ace?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Chat,
so,
get your sadges ready.
Yeah, this is a sad story actually. You want me to tell the real Okay. So anyway, Matt's trying for this girl for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. She doesn't give him the time of day, but like she'll come over and like she'll hang out one-on-one in his room just to like shit on him. Like she's not nice to him at all. Like he makes no progress here. He's like, oh, like she's hanging out, and he tells the other girl, like the very beautiful one, like, hey, like this is going great, but I'm actually more interested in your roommate, and like just completely shoots that, like kills that budding relationship, if you could call it that, and goes for this other girl. So anyway, he's trying for weeks, makes no progress, and it's like just like depressing and sad. So time comes around for the Halloween party. So it was the weekend of Halloween.
Chat, let me paint the picture even more. Yeah. With this one girl that I wanted so badly, I went and drove to her during the break. Like we had like I guess you're like for a weekend. Mm-hmm. I went to her. I drove like 30-40 minutes to her to hang out with her. We didn't do anything. I was just a cuck. I was literally a cuck. I was driving with my Dodge Charger being a cuck. Yeah. And I got nothing. I went with her to, where was the place in Pennsylvania that people, or not Pennsylvania, Philly. I went to Philadelphia with her. I bought her a ton of stuff.
Philly's in Pennsylvania.
Yo, I went to Philadelphia with her. I did a bunch of shit chat. I like went walking with her. I tried to hold her hand, but I was really just giving her $10 to buy a cheesesteak.
Yeah, like she let him attempt to win her affection, but she didn't give him anything. It was just
It
like
was so hot.
She
It was so hot.
She had no interest whatsoever. So anyway, so he's going. Yeah, he's doing all that, and then the Halloween weekend comes around. Now everyone's getting ready to go out to a party. I didn't want to go. I was over the party scene at this school. I was going to the gym instead. All right?
that is 100%
That's
true.
100% true. It sounds kind of sad in retrospect.
You're just farming gigachads. Like, that's all you're doing. You literally, that's exactly what he did, Chad. He's like, the first week he went to a party, he's like, wait, you don't got any water here. And then after that, he's like, oh, I'm not going to these things. I thought there was going to be like a water jug or something. So Dave left, and he would just start, only, when we would go to drink and go to parties, Dave was at the gym.
It was like the best time to go because no one else was there because they went out. But anyway, yeah, it was like a Friday night or something. I come back from the gym, like it's pretty late, probably around like 10:30, 11 or so. So like just when the parties were getting started, like, you know, our group would have gone out because we had a group of guys, a group of girls, and they go out together. And I come back, and the only person on our freshman floor is Matt, and he's sitting there, and as I said, he was sitting there crying in the hallway, and I'm like, okay, so what the hell happened here? Because I know he had been going out to a party, and I couldn't imagine what could have happened that would have led to him just like sitting here by himself, basically in the dark, in the hallway. And so I sit down with you, and we were sitting there for a bit, and we're just talking. Like, he told me the story of what happened, which was that they had gone out, and Matt had seen this girl. And, you know, he was like, she was like acting kind of weird, and he was like, what's up? Like, is everything okay? Is something wrong with you? Like, what's going on here? And she said something along the lines of, fuck you, and then grabbed onto one of our best friends, way taller than Matt. The guy's 6'4", all right? It was one of the guys on our freshman floor, and started making out with him right in front of Matt. Just right in front of Matt, did that to him. And Matt, like, what do you fucking do? Like, what can you do in that situation? It's just like the complete, like, slap in the face. And you're just like, well, I'm fucking leaving. And he left, came back, all upset. I think you had some family stuff going around that time as well.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just like, there was
you were family to me, Dave. You were there for me.
yeah. And yeah, so I was just like, we're hanging out in the hallway. And then, like, the guy who got with who she ended up making out with is our buddy Ace, who again,
Chad, he's not even our buddy. He was my roommate.
He was Matt's roommate.
Do you know those small little dorms with only one person, like two small beds can fit in a small desk and a broken microwave? That was my roommate. He was literally my roommate. So I went to bed with him in the other bed.
Yeah, but the thing is that Ace was unaware. Like, we don't hold Ace like super accountable for this because like he didn't get everything you're going on with Sophie. Like, obviously didn't seem like there was a lot of chemistry between the two of you or anything. Like, he didn't know that Matt had been trying so hard to.
It's not his fault. He's tall, Chad.
And yeah, he was really he was pretty tall.
So Dave goes like, Chad. This is how Dave describes life. If you're short, you're worthless. If you're tall,
no, I do not.
If you're tall, you look at the worthless people. That's how Dave sees. If you're not 6'8", Dave thinks you're beneath him. If you're above 6'8", Dave hates you because you're above him.
Okay, man is not.
Like, Dave has not seen Zoil since the day he saw Zoil because Zoil's a little bit taller than him.
I see Zoil every day. Zoil is. I'm not used to someone being bigger than me.
Oh, Dave, someone in the chat just said 6'7" is good enough, isn't it? Don't tell him that. Chad, he's 6'8". He'll get pissed if you tell him otherwise.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's all. You know, he's like super upset in the hallway. And one guy from our floor, Jesus Kyle, he comes out.
Chad, we had nicknames for everybody because I knew I was going to be a streamer.
Yeah, with a lot of it was all nicknames. We had like a list and we made nicknames for everybody early on in the school year. But anyway, this guy comes out and he's like he was like a big anime guy, and he was like, he had like the posters of like the anime girls with the, you know, heaving chests and everything in his dorm room.
Don't fucking cringe, Dave. That's your room nowadays. What are you talking about? You're cringing, and you literally half your room is anime titties and Bebe pictures. Yes, it is. What are you? You literally just cringe, Dave, for what you are.
That's literally not true. That's literally.
It is true. Your entire room is pictures of anime weeaboos and Kirby's. Dave, they're even Giga Chatting your laugh. You do have a Giga Chat laugh.
Last time I was here, Seer told me I have a business laugh. Like, I would be good for a business meeting. So I guess that's what it is. But anyway, back to the... So that was the guy, and he had this kind of, like sneering voice, almost. And he, like, comes out of the bathroom, or I guess he'd been this whole time, or maybe he was coming back from the cafeteria, I'm not sure. And he's walking down the hall, and he looks at Matt, and he says, "Hey, Matt, have you seen Ace?" And Matt's just sitting there, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why would you ask me that right now? And then he just, like, walks off and goes in his room.
Chat, he was a cunt. And he did the smirk. He did the smirk, and he did it on purpose. After he said it, he smirked right at me. It was the worst smirk I ever saw in my life. He rolled me, and I knew I got rolled. When he did it, I'm like, yup, I got rolled. That's the end of this. He smirked, called me a pussy. We would call each other pussies all the time. So he called me a pussy and left. And that's all he... And I got rolled. He's like... He went back to his weeaboo dungeon, and you know what he started playing? Chat, what's that one game that you go back and forth? Super Hexagon. He went back to his room, played Super Hexagon for the rest of the night.
Yeah, he had a good night.
All right, Dave.
All right, you want the cringe story now? As if that wasn't cringe enough.
Amy said here, I want you to listen to this cringe ass story. It's bad.
Oh, yeah.
The cringe story is the worst story, chat. I'm telling you, it is the worst story about me. You may want to cancel your tier 1s after this. It is so fucking cringe. And you know what? Before we do the story, chat, please Twitch Prime.
Is that important to say, I guess?
Wait, Dave, what if you tell them to Twitch Prime? What happens?
Wait, to Twitch Prime?
Twitch
Prime?
Tell the chat to do something, because you're an alpha male.
Oh, yeah, guys, use your Twitch Prime on Matt. He needs the money. I use my Twitch Prime on Matt. I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I support
you. All right, Dave. You got all those people to Twitch Prime to me.
Fuck. Oh.
And I got 5 gifted subs.
Nice. All right.
Wait, Dave, it worked. Holy shit, it worked. I've never seen that. Okay, Dave, you rolled it. Dangor, thank you for the 10 gifted. I appreciate it. They're saying Dave sure.
Oh, man. Now you can afford to get more of your lunches. So that's nice.
I can get like one lunch with all this money, Dave, all right? My lunches are very expensive.
Aren't they like $30?
Dude, Uber Eats is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No,
Chat, Dave, you literally just farmed me. I'm not kidding. You just got me 200 subs.
Wait,
I've never seen it do this. Yo, FaZe for the 5, I appreciate it. I told Dave, chat, Dave, obviously, he's 6'8", right? Yeah. Dave has a good job. Like, a very high, well-respected job.
Fuck?
Very high pay. I don't know what is happening right now. I told Dave that if he ever loses his job, he should just come here and do OnlyFans.
Wait, come here?
Well, you should just do OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yeah, he did tell me that. I'm not 100%.
Yo, Azza, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it. You can steal some of Valinity's viewers, and then you guys can have competition.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Like, imagine, Dave, if you became a big OnlyFans person from just being tall and being you. While all these other girls are getting plastic surgeries and shit, you just do normal pictures of yourself on an OnlyFans.
I just have like an Instagram, essentially.
Yeah, it's literally just an Instagram.
Absolutely.
Dave, I'm not kidding you. You just got me 205 subs.
Fantastic. All right.
Yo, work. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it. And Pars for the 5 gifted.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody.
All right, chat. Knock it off with the subs, okay? Knock it off.
Really?
It's time, Dave. Okay, they're going to keep going. What do you want me to do? Clammy, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it.
Clammy money. Nice. Oh, that's actually that's a weird name, actually. Anyway.
All right.
Story time.
So, Evie, let me just give you the lowdown of the story. It's 2016. Okay. I think, what are we, juniors in college?
Seniors.
So we're seniors in college, right? I'm the bad boy on campus, okay?
Okay.
I have the nice Schwinn bike with pegs in case the girls need to come back and I can drive them back and forth to class. All right? I'm a top tier student, 3.85 GPA. Is that true?
Okay, by the way, I feel like people think Matt's really dumb. Matt's not dumb. He had a good GPA. It took him a long time to graduate, but he had a good GPA, all right? Jeez.
Thank you. Chat, yeah. Genuinely, I'm not stupid, okay? Conrad, thank you for the 5. I'm not stupid. Did I take a lot of Adderall? Every day. But was I good on Adderall? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Dude, chat, half of you guys take fucking Adderall and you're still fucking garbage at Valorant, all right? So shut the hell up, all right? What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
So I wasn't, but you know what's funny? So chat, Dave, this is not NDA anymore, right?
Whoa, what? What are you going to say?
Dave used to write, here's what I would do.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I would have a 5-page essay ready to go. I worked on it all day. I'd be so tired from working on it, and Dave was my like Google Translate for how much garbage I put, right? So I would go to Dave for all of my help. And one time I went to Dave with a huge essay I just finished. I've been working on it for 10 hours each day for 5 days. I was listening to lo-fi hip-hop nonstop. I get to Dave. I show him this essay. He looks at it. You know what he does? He deletes the whole thing and says it was garbage. Do y'all remember that?
All right. First of all, which time? But no.
Exactly.
No, Matt would write a lot of essays because it was like these college composition classes where you need to write papers. And Matt would like try really
They're
hard.
giga chatting you for everything. Chat, he was a dick.
No, okay, listen.
No, he was a good friend. He would always help me more than anyone.
You couldn't hand these in. It would have been, I mean, he did. Like, remember, you did hand them in initially because the idea in this class was that you could hand the essays in and then you'd get your initial grade for them. And then later, you put together a writing portfolio of all your best papers. So Matt would hand these in. He's getting like D's at best, a C, because he's just like, he just writes the same way he talks, which you're not supposed to do. But like, he would just write an essay in his speaking voice.
So chat, you know how all the time I always fix what everyone always says, which is the word good, which is not correct, and I always fix it to well? That's because of Dave. Dave, when I was in college, literally all he would tell me for everything was that I'm doing well instead of doing good. Or, you know, wow, that was a good sandwich. That was a well sandwich.
No, not that one, Matt. Not that one. He took the lesson too far. But on the flip side, Matt did very good things for me. I was working on my posture freshman year. I had pretty bad posture at that time, seated. Matt would come to my room and just kick the fucking door in, like, sit up! And I'd sit up straight. And I really appreciated that.
And then I would turn on your microwave.
Okay, he was annoying too, but he did actually really help. It's really, you work on your posture, you're gonna forget about it. Matt was like a hawk. It was actually very great. We had a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, chat. And then whenever you try to go to bed, I'd get into that mode, and I would just farm for hours, just while he's in bed and his roommate were trying to sleep, or anyone. I would just go in their rooms and I was literally like a late night show. I would just go in there for hours with a microwave, and I would just start clicking buttons and entertain them. It was good. I admit it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, at no point we never locked the door. We didn't want to lock the door because no one on the floor did. We were all really close and stuff, and we were like had our doors directly facing each other and stuff. And Matt would come in every night, and he'd like come in, and then we had a microwave next to the door. He'd add 30 seconds and walk out. And like I'm on the top bunk, and my roommate's down there, and my roommate's like with his girlfriend most nights, and like 30 seconds are gonna go by, and the microwave's gonna start.
Oh, tell him about your girlfriend story once.
Wait, what?
Remember when didn't I walk in on you?
I don't want to talk about those ones.
Why? It's funny.
Okay, but the better stuff was you with Jake's girlfriend. My roommate was a guy named Jake, and Matt would go in and like they'd be trying to not be like romantic or anything because I was in there too, but they'd be like just snuggling on the bed and maybe watching a show with headphones in. And Matt would come in and he'd be like, oh, the microwave's not going to work. People have headphones in. So he'd go and like get into the bed with them, like crawl in, all strange like. And then he'd start rolling around on them. Then I was like on a loft bed across the way from them, and I was dying because when you picture someone rolling around in bed, you picture him rolling around like this, right?
Chat, they thought it was funny. They laughed too. They didn't give up. They're like all my best friends. They didn't care.
So you'd think they'd roll sideways. Matt would be like going into like headstands and like slamming down on like the furniture and stuff. So he was rolling more like this way with his body, and it was just like, we're always afraid he was going to break stuff, and he's just like giggling strangely the whole time. And keep in mind, chat,
these are all computer science majors. So how I became friends with Dave is I was a computer science major going into college. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys did this. You're like, oh, I could do computer science. I'm on the internet all the time, and I can usually do this.
Yeah.
So I went to computer science for one day. One day.
One class.
And one class, I'm like, nope. I left. I changed to finance almost immediately. And, but I'm on the computer science floor because that's what I went into it with. So I was with, at all times, the nerds. The whole time, it was the people doing, like, writing HTML and shit, all the bullshit, HTML,
Java,
CSGO. What else did you guys write? My essays.
Yes. So yeah, back to the essays. Matt would usually hand in this crap, and then I'd fix it. I would fix it up for him, so that it was actually something he could hand in at the end of the semester, and it worked out perfectly because he would spend a lot of time working on an essay, and I would read it. It would have like no punctuation in it or something. It would be impossible to parse, and I would just go through and turn it into written English.
Chat. You know what's funny? So just like in the Social Network, Dave was like, here's how he worked. Dave was in like the Phoenix organization, whatever it is. What is it called?
The Phoenix Club.
The Phoenix Club, but for tall people.
It was a finals club, I think it was.
So Dave knew everyone on campus who was near his height or even possibly, dare I say, taller than him. So it was like a Phoenix Club of tall guys, all always getting together to understand what they could do and how they could be taller.
Oh yeah, we had X and we had Fluffy and Ace.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people on our floor that were like 6'8", 6'6".
Yeah, I mean it was like 6'4" and up, a lot of them, and then Matt. So we always looked like his security detail walking around campus.
Yes,
he looked very well protected, but very small.
Gets the story. The story.
Okay, yeah.
So let me lay this down for you, Emmy. It's 2016. Mm-hmm. Now, at this point, I'm the Giga Chad. Okay, I'm a 5'8". Sweaty Italian man who's using Axe body spray before he goes out. All right,
okay.
I've got Tim's on. I've got jeans. I've got a white T-shirt, and I'm a Guido.
The
right?
Tim's, no.
So I'm ready to fucking party. I'm ready to fist bump.
Tim's.
Huh?
I'm remembering you had Tim's.
I did. This is all true.
Yeah.
I literally worked. Yeah. I literally did all that. Yeah. I was a Guido. Mm-hmm. So why are you coughing? Coughing. So here I am, chat. I'm fucking sick. So I go down to the local bar, right? And I start spitting game.
This is in his hometown, not at school. So
I'm spitting game to this girl. And I'm like, can I get your number? And she said yes. She's like, all right, yeah, I'm down. And I start talking to her. And I find out that she's the sorority leader.
President. Why can't you remember it's called the sorority president?
The sorority leader.
I'm the sorority leader.
Sounds like a cult then.
Yes. That's literally what sororities are. Can I get a look up? They're literally cults.
Yeah, my girlfriend was a sorority president. Alright, don't call them cults. She doesn't like it.
So she was like the Misty of the Pokemon gyms. Actually, no, it's not, because she was one of the 3 actual leaders. So she was really high up there. She was like Misty's sisters, right? So she was there and she was doing some cool ass shit. I got her number. We start texting, right?
Okay.
This is Miz in his prime. I'm 22 years old. I'm fucking killing it.
I think you were 21.
I felt older because I looked older. I looked old, chat. All right.
I was 22.
So there I am. So Emmy, here's what I did. I got her number, and now back in the day, there was 5 jokes that we had, chat. Only 5. Yo, Matt, Smite, Chipotle, Dave. Those are the 5 things that we always said.
Oh no, that's actually pretty accurate.
Yep.
Wait, what?
It's like
5 things.
Some people
Sound familiar, chat? Sound familiar?
Do you still do
Yo,
all
Matt,
those?
Smite, Chipotle, Dave.
Yeah, I know all
Those
of
are the 5 things that we would say.
These
I
are
know
still
all
things?
of those.
Write that
Yeah,
down.
those are old.
haven't even
Those
been
are
here a
old.
year.
Literally the same things.
Yeah.
Chat, nothing's changed. Like, I literally have used all, it's the same shit. It is garbage around here. Yo, Matt, Smite, Chipotle, Dave. Alright? Those are the things that we used to say all the time. It was the 5 Exodias that were Dave. And I'm gonna be honest with you, chat, Dave's like 20 Exodias. He's so tall. So, here I am.
What is Exodias?
Huh?
What does that mean?
It's like the leader of a sorority. So here I am, right? And I'm killing it. I get this girl's number, Emmy. Bam, boom, bop. You want to go to Chipotle? It's one of the 5 things I knew.
Yeah.
I couldn't say you want to go to Smite.
Yeah.
She would probably say no, right?
She
Back
wouldn't
then,
let
League
it
was
say.
very popular. So
that's why she would. She would have been all over it if League wasn't so popular.
So dude, they're literally just everything you say. They're just look at them.
Oh man, they love it.
So here I am. I get this girl's number. We go to Chipotle. I had a loud ass Dodge Charger. Did I not? Black Dodge Charger.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, drug dealer car for sure.
Yep. I had a large black Dodge Charger. And I'm driving that shit. I pull up. I get her. She's got a nice ass house. Drive to Chipotle. Eat. Dave, what do we always get at Chipotle?
Bowls, water.
Bowls and water, chat. You get 5 small tortillas pressed on the side. Double brown rice because it's free. You get chicken. You always ask them for a little bit more. Because they always will probably give you a little bit more because they hate their lives. which then I would get mild, because I'm a little bitch, sour cream, corn, cheese, a little bit of lettuce, and I was get it on my way. $7.28 every single time. Anyway, I got that. She's like, wow, it's impressive. I love people that could do micromanaging. And I'm like, I can micromanage your mouth right now. And she's like, cringe. And this is where the story gets really cringe. So I drive her back to her place. And at a stop sign, Amy, I swear this is true, at a stop sign, she looks at me.
And you make out with her.
And I keep going. So she looks, she gives me a stare. I stare back. I'm like, hey, I have to go. There's a car behind me. We go. There's another stop sign. No car behind me. Guess what she does? She looks at me again. I go in for the kiss. Nailed it. We kiss. I pull over to the side. We start making out on the side of the road in the middle of North Jersey. Lily Peach.
Dangerous
on the
area.
outside your house.
Very dangerous area.
Yep. So I'm in North Jersey making out with some chick, and she's like, wow, you're really good at this. I'm like, I know. And she's like, why don't you come to, I'm going to this, like, come to my school. Because Dave transferred from Rutgers, chat. Dave went to a different school. Yep. He didn't want to be at Rutgers. He thought it was garbage. It wasn't good enough for Dave. Right?
That's okay.
Dave wanted to go to Cornell.
That was that.
With all the other tall people.
What? Great hotel management program there, though, for sure.
Dave wanted to go to only Ivy Leagues. He did not want to be around us peasants. Can you blame the man? It made no sense. So Dave went to a different school, a more prestigious school than Rutgers. So Dave
Rutgers
is at the
is a
school,
great
and this
school,
girl went to Dave's school, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to this bar. I might go out. Do you want to hang out this weekend?" I'm like, "Sure." So I wait, and I date. So I wait, and Dave's like, "Yo, let's go to the bar."
Yeah, there was a really great nightclub that Thursday night. Everybody in my school went there. All right, it was the only nightclub nearby, and yeah, so it was like, hey Matt, like you should come. I've been telling my buddies from our freshman floor and everything to come visit for a long time, and Matt was like, yeah, like I'm coming. Not for me, but for this sorority president. And I should mention that this sorority was one of those like attractive girls, like definitely, yeah. They selected based on looks for this sorority, so it was a good get. Like it was like cool, And Matt, yeah, he came up. Did you still have it? Yeah. This was either in like early January or before. I don't remember if it was after Thanksgiving break or the December break. Do you remember?
That's semantics. Doesn't matter. It was somewhere around Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I think it was after Thanksgiving break. But anyway, yeah. So Matt comes up and he's feeling good. He's like, yeah, dude, like there's this girl, and like at this point, Matt had kind of turned up. Like at the beginning of school, way back, like he had done very well with girls, but then he was like, I want to be myself, and then like girls were like, I don't like this.
He's right.
Yeah.
Chat, if I was myself, I never would get laid. Because all I tried to do is entertain my friends. So I would use them essentially as a prop, and I would just nonstop be making jokes the entire time, and they would be like, dude, you're funny, but you're fucking annoying, and I'm never going to get with you. His ex-girlfriend told me something once, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. All 8 years ago. 9. Almost 10. Ew. She said, Matt, you will never have good sex because you just joke around the entire time and you can't take anything serious.
Did she actually say that to you?
Yes, she did. She told me that almost one of the first days she met me. She's like, you're
That's
funny,
it, yeah.
you got some good stuff, but my God, will you never have good sex because you cannot fucking be serious for 1 second. I'm like, I can't even last that long. So what's the fucking point?
No, she actually really liked Matt. She's one of the only people who I've dated who was like, Matt is really funny. Like even with him coming and hitting the microwave whenever she'd be in town and stuff.
She thought it was a classic. Chat.
She thought it was really funny. He would do a thing where he'd like anytime he said something, he'd like segue that into a song and like start singing that song. And she was like, that is very funny as well. And
oh, local radio.
Yes, and he had another one. And then you had one where anytime someone said like, that's not whatever, like regardless of what it is, like that's not kosher. That's not. Matt would say, it's DiGiorno, like every single time. And she loved it so much. And I was like, wow.
That's ADHD.
How many people would actually find this funny? It's a very small list. Anyway. Everybody in chat, I guess. I mean, of girls you would meet at college, most people.
He means girls, chat.
Yeah. The girls you meet at college.
So, Dave, here's how it starts, Emmy. So the girl, I got with her, all that stuff. Dave's like, oh, so Dave only, I don't know if you've noticed it so far, he only drinks water. Dave is a purity. He's only a pure man. He will never drink anything else. Have you ever had a beer in your life?
I've never had alcohol.
And this is true.
Alcohol.
He has never had alcohol in his entire life.
Yeah.
We would go to parties, and everyone's like, the classic. Whoa, dude, you're really tall, dude. Yeah. You could probably do a sick keg stand, bro. Like, why don't you just take a beer? And Dave would literally call them peasants right there. He's like, get away from me, you disgusting fuckbag. No. And the whole time, he would just want water. That's all he would drink. Yeah. Dave would roll up to parties sometimes, chat, on a bike. Drink and go through, look at everyone, notice he's taller than them, and leave.
It's $5 at the door, too. Like, it's pretty expensive habit. No. That's not true. But it was good. He is right. We would go to parties, and I was a great wingman for Matt in the early days.
No, he was not,
I was a great wingman because I had a girlfriend, so I wasn't interested. But
they weren't interested in me, dude.
No, but they would come talk to us. That was the important thing. We'd be in because you're always in these, like, frat basements where the ceiling is, like, 6 feet tall. It's like my head's, like, wedged in the rafters and stuff. People come up like, oh, you're really tall. And I'm like, have you met my friend Matt? He's a great guy. And then they'd be like, oh,
bro,
nice.
Their neck hurt looking down, chat. Like, I'm telling you, it was not like... I never got laid from Dave being like, oh, hey, I'm Dave, and then this is a runt. Like, what the fuck?
I didn't say
like,
I didn't say
what the heck? No shit, no girl wanted me. I got nothing. I barely got laid in college.
This is such a... He was doing very well freshman year.
Freshman year, but after that, did I get laid?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to parties after that. You stopped getting laid after I stopped going to parties.
Because we all gave up. Because we didn't join a fraternity, and the only way to get laid was to go to a frat. So I was like, all right, I'm not getting laid. And I after that, it was impossible.
Yeah, but you did get with a fair number of girls. More than anyone else on the floor, that's for sure.
Yes, but that's not saying much, because half of them were gay.
CS floor. I don't know.
So, here's how this worked, chat. So Dave has a van, and Dave's a designated driver. And Dave's like, all right, let's go to this bar, right? So Dave brings all of his volleyball friends, who are all tall as fuck, 6'4", and then I'm 5'9", and I'm rolling up with Dave to this place. Dave, continue the whole story. It gets really cringe.
Right. Okay. So we get to this place, all right? Mm-hmm. Great. Like, it was like one of those clubs that you go to in college because everyone you know is there, not because it's a good club or anything. But there's like a huge line to get in and everything because they need to like check everyone's ID because everyone looks like they're arguably 21 because they're all college students. $5 at the door, student night with student ID. So anyway, yeah, get rid of all that. So anyway, on the way there in the car, Matt is trying to like make conversation with my volleyball guys and everything, and he brings up Twitch. It's like, oh, and one of these guys just so happened, not like an Ice Poseidon fan. You know who Ice Poseidon is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Ice Poseidon. He's like this big Twitch streamer at the time. Am I allowed to say his name? Oh. Sorry.
No, you can say his name.
Okay. Because I know he's like bad or something. So anyway, so there's this guy, we'll say this streamer. Can I say his name, really?
No, you can say his name.
Yeah, you can't say his name. Okay. So it's Ice Poseidon. And yeah, so this guy, like, he's not an Ice Poseidon fan. There's my volleyball friends, my buddy Bendish. And he's just like, yeah, I know who that is. Like, he goes on the subreddit that has like the one live stream.
You can talk about live stream fails.
Oh, yeah, on live stream fails. Yeah, I think he's like, oh yeah, I've seen him on there before, or something like that. It was on Reddit. Why are you sweating? You're making me really nervous. I'm making someone know.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
So anyway. So like that just comes up, and Matt's like, oh, like, you know who that is? And Matt's like, oh, a kindred spirit, and that's like he just like starts talking to the guy about it. And the guy's like, yeah, kind of like nodding along like you do, and like you like mention you like Lord of the Rings. This guy read the Silmarillion. He like all he wants to talk about is where the dwarves came from. So anyway, Matt just starts talking about it. We get to the club. We're in the line. Matt's still talking about it. All right. We get through the line. There's a guy's line and a girl's line, by the way, to make things easier. I'm not 100% sure the reason. So we get in there, and real quick, Matt sent her a text, and like we find the girl, this sorority president. I'm like, oh, I've seen her around before. Like I wasn't sure if I knew who she was. I was like, oh, she is like one of those popular girls at school. So Matt goes up, and she's like, oh my gosh, like you actually came. Like I didn't think you would. It was a bit of a drive and everything. And like it's a Thursday night. So she's like, I didn't think you were gonna come up. This is awesome. And Matt's like, yeah, totally. And it was a good start to the night, right? She like seemed legitimately excited. But then, like, so we're like, she's hanging around, and like my volleyball buddies are there too, and like we're all just kind of like in like those big circles you get into in a social setting, and everyone's talking. Now Matt can't get off the fact that this guy on my team knows about Ice Poseidon. And so he's like, yeah, so you said, and he's like, just bringing up events from the Ice Poseidon stream, and he's like, oh, what do you think about this drama or this arc and that sort of stuff? And again, this guy's being polite. Like, he hasn't watched a lot of Ice Poseidon. Like, again, this is like, we're playing volleyball, we're pretty busy guys overall. Actually, that guy was a bit of, yeah, I would say he was a bit more on the gamer side. But yeah, Matt starts talking about Ice Poseidon, Ice Poseidon. This girl's like, I don't really know what that's about. I don't know what that is. So Matt is kind of talking to her about Ice Poseidon a little bit to explain what he's talking about. He's like, oh yeah, like Ice Poseidon, he's this Twitch streamer. This girl's like, what's Twitch? Matt's like, oh yeah, like let me give you a little more details about Twitch. I'll explain this to you a bit more. And he's like, just so she can get the context so that she'll understand all these Ice Poseidon stories Matt wants to talk about tonight. So this girl's like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of weird, and this isn't really what I was trying to sign up for. So she's like, oh, I'm going to go head off to the bar or something, you know. She's like, I'm going to get a drink. It was like $1 Bud Lights or something. So she goes off. And Matt's like, yeah, you go ahead. Like, doesn't go with her to help her. She's
get like, $1 Bud Lights. I'm like, dude, $1 TTS, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, I can go.
I don't know that. But anyway, yeah, so she goes off. She's getting this beer. And you know, she comes back a little while later. I think she ended up talking to some of her sorority sisters. She comes over. Matt was still talking about Ice.
I was. She literally left. She left and went to go get drinks. I still couldn't stop talking about him. So the poor girl that was with Eddie, hot ass sorority girls. They're all hot sorority girls. I'm talking about Ice Poseidon. Why? I could not get his name out of my fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my God.
Matt was just like so pumped. All right, so pumped. So he continues to talk about Ice Poseidon. Girl's like, okay, and I don't think she even says anything and just like walks away. And Matt's like, okay, well, I'll go find her when I finish this story or whatever. Like, just keeps going. But she just like leaves, and like all like the sorority girls kind of disperse and everything. So it's just like me and my volleyball crew, like some of the people who like we're friends with and whatnot, like some of the girls we're talking to, and then Matt talking to my buddy Bendish about Ice Poseidon. And
Oh my God.
so some more of the night goes by. It's already like we've already been there for quite a while at this point. It's not underlining, but yeah. So some more of the night goes by, and we see her again later. And I think Matt realized like, wait a minute, I think something kind of went wrong. He's like, I came here for her. I've barely seen her tonight, you know. And so he's like, oh, okay, let me get her back over here. And so he goes over, you know, third time's a charm. And he's like, hey, and like they're chit-chatting, and she's smiling a little bit. Like, I wasn't with them, so I don't know what that conversation was about. Theoretically, not Ice Poseidon. But she's like, yeah, and they come over and they start hanging out with us a little bit. In the same proximity as my guys. And then I don't, like, again, no one else was bringing this up. My buddy Bendish wasn't like, hey, so about Ice Poseidon, because again, he didn't know him very well. But somehow Matt manages, you know how he like makes like word association jokes?
Yeah.
I think that she said something that included the word ice.
She said water.
Maybe she said water, which has to do with
She
ice.
said, I need some water.
And yeah, he probably said something like, do you need some ice for that? Like Ice Poseidon? And then was right back on it. Like, ready to talk about Ice Poseidon again. He was going. So yeah, she left. She didn't. I don't think she came back.
I never talked to her again.
And
because she wasn't a fanboy of Ice Poseidon. And I'm like, I'm not going to talk to you. You're cringe.
Yeah. So then, she ended up, like, later that night, we saw her with another guy, who honestly was kind of like Matt, but was not Matt.
Bro, what is with this light? Keep
Oh,
going.
yeah, it's being weird. But yeah, ended up leaving with this other guy, who again kind of looked like Matt, like was like a kind of like shorter Italian looking dude. I have a vague recollection of what he looked like, but I didn't know him or anything. And so Matt, you know, we get back in the van with all my volleyball friends, and we go back to, like, I drop everybody off, and like Matt and I go back to my dorm. I mean, like, the plan had been that either he was going to stay at this girl's place. That was the original plan.
Chat, she literally told me when I was making out with her, she's like, are you... Wait, I know these lips. You're the legendary finger kiff. And I'm like, so, you know about me. And she's like, why don't you come to the... She literally told me this. While after we make that, she said, I own the sorority. I'm the sorority leader. You can just come and stay at my place. I had nothing to do. All I had to do, chat, was just not fuck it up, and I was going to sleep with a sorority queen.
Yeah. But anyway, what happened instead is that Matt came back to my dorm, and I was like, yeah, Matt, you can crash here. It's no big deal. Like, we got a couch and everything. And he's like, what happened tonight? What went wrong? And that was the part that threw me off the most. That oftentimes, when he fucks around like that, he knows he's doing something to make everyone laugh. Like, it was making us laugh that he kept bringing up Ice beside him. And he was like, what went wrong tonight? I don't know. Like, she left with another guy. Like, she came here, or I came here to see her, and I was kind of like, everything was like all set up. What went wrong tonight? And I was like, oh, I think it may have been that you were talking about a Twitch streamer all night. And he was like, oh, fuck, what is wrong with me? What? You're just so taken aback by yourself, like by your own actions. So anyway, I was like, yeah, well, you can still say the night. He's like, I'm just going back to school. And it was like 1 a.m, and he just drove all the way home. The most dejected, sad Matt I have ever seen in my life. Just like, well,
No,
not
it's
as
not.
sad.
The
Not
sadder
the
one was when...
Yeah. That's very true. But it was just such a depressing scenario where, like, you drive up somewhere, she leaves with another guy, and then you drive home alone at 1 a.m. And it was a long drive. No, we were like, our schools were not particularly close.
And I swore to her. I said, when she did that chat, I said, hey, I'm going to become the next Ice Poseidon, and you will see me. I will be a big streamer one day.
I don't think
You'll
she
see!
has no idea who
I
you
don't
are.
think she cares.
But she was fucking the other guy. I just went outside her sorority.
It's not true.
I'm like, you'll see! I ran away into the night. Into my Dodge Charger as I'm blasting trap music.
Yeah, just nodding your head, just feeling good.
Did we not listen to a lot of trap and dubstep? Isn't that all I listened to?
You guys listen to a lot of stuff. I was never wild about the trap, but yeah, they would just listen to trap and like do weird dances in the apartment.
Yeah, Dave only listened to audiobooks. That's all he listened. That was his music. While he's lifting and working out and only drinking water, he's only listening to audiobooks about quantum physics.
About quantum physics.
Oh, sorry, that's posh shit. He was listening to that in middle school.
Posh shit.
Pish posh.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, so that was Matt's cringiest moment that I think I had seen of him. Because again, if he had done it on purpose, it would have been very, very, very funny. But he didn't do it on purpose. So, yeah.
I want you to be honest. Do you think I'm cringe?
Why are you so afraid to look me in the eye?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I mean, that was pretty bad, but I mean, are you still like a fanboy of like?
Mute the stream. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Fanboy of who? Nobody. I'm only a fanboy of myself. No, I'm not a fanboy. All right. Listen, I was 22. I was
21.
I was ripped out of my fucking mind.
Wait, like your body or you were drunk?
No, I was ripped.
Oh my god.
I was ripped out of my goddamn mind, Dave. I was jacked.
Oh, okay, with your okay, I got you.
Every girl wanted me. Every girl. They just didn't want to show it. Their pheromones when I go near them were crazy. I'm like, perfume. That means you like me.
Mm-hmm. He did often do a thing where he'd go to a party, and then again, he was good looking, or he's good looking now, but he was even better looking then, perhaps. Man, no, it's not. It's just you don't take care of yourself. Like
How do I take care of myself? What do you mean?
You used to take better care of your eyebrows, for example, and your beard and stuff.
Dude,
but your hair looks really nice now. Well, not like how it is right now. You like, if you... yeah, okay, yeah, see? Shut up.
Okay, well, today's a really bad hair day.
Yeah. And that... Okay, but anyway, we like... He would go to parties later on in school and see girls there, and they would be interested in him. Do you remember that girl who looked like my ex? Who you kept calling my ex?
No.
Okay. So anyway, Matt... I had an ex-girlfriend who was in the theater program at Matt's school after I transferred, so I would go down a lot. And she had like a rival within who like kind of looked like her. They would go for the similar roles and stuff like that. And Matt knew that, would see that girl at every party.
Watch that scene.
Yes. Nice. And it does like he used to. At like every party, and he would, knowing they were rivals, call that girl my ex-girlfriend's name. Just walk up and be like, hey, and like act like it was her, and she would get so mad at you, but she still gave you the time of the day because you were an attractive guy. She was kind of interested, and you just never made any moves on that whatsoever.
Because, chat, it's not funny if I get laid. It's funnier if I get cucked.
Yeah.
So I purposely, and Dave can tell you this is true, I would go to parties, fuck with the girls, not care about getting laid, and just try to make everyone else laugh. It's all I would do.
Yeah.
It was a good
so
one.
It was so funny.
It was hilarious. It was it was the funniest I was good content. I had no viewers though. None.
Yeah.
I made no actually lost money.
You had 3 viewers.
Yeah. But it was
3 viewers?
good ass content.
Yeah. It was me and our buddy Corey.
Oh, tell them the bike story. Chat, do you like these stories, by the way? They're good stories, right? And the thing is, I don't remember any of them, so he remembers all of them.
They're mostly saying yes.
Yeah. They do. They also are saying yes because they just like you on the screen.
Oh, well, that's... Oh, thanks, guys.
They're used to looking at me and fucking XQC, okay? They two absolute degenerate losers. They see you, they're like, wow, a well, groomed human being who, like, takes care of himself and cares.
Not even as well groomed as I could be, but, COVID
you
makes
can always
things
improve,
hard.
chat.
You can always be better.
Chat. Dave, tell them about your Game of Thrones saga.
What Game of Thrones? Oh, with you? Like, reading it?
Oh, yeah, tell them that story.
All right. Does Chad know the only book you've ever read?
Chat, do you know the only book I've ever read? I already told you. I've only ever read one book in my entire life.
Like, from cover to cover, obviously.
From cover to cover.
Yeah.
Some of them know. Someone said it.
Oh, did someone say it?
Yeah, they did say it.
Oh, that's a fan. All right. It's Frindle. And if you don't know Frindle, it was like this children's book back in the day about a kid who, like, called a pet a Frindle and then, like, made, like, a whole marketing blitz off of that. Very interesting book. I think it was, like, a David Lewis book or something like that.
Only book I ever fully read.
Yeah. So he's only read Frindle. But anyway, so in college, we started watching this show, Game of Thrones. We started showing Matt Game of Thrones. And he has like a very low attention span, but he was into it. We were all really pumped. Like, again, it was like a bunch of CS majors on the floor, so we were headlining to the fantasy stuff. We were really pumped that Matt could pay attention to an hour-long episode of television. Because usually you just watch like SpongeBob or something. True. But then Matt and I we're reading the books, okay? And I was on like the 3rd book or something, A Storm of Swords, I believe it was. And Matt said, I'm going to read a Game of Thrones, the first book in the series, okay? I'm going to read a Game of Thrones. And I said, that's great. You're going to like these because you like the books, or you like the show. And the first book is much like the first season of the show. There's very few discrepancies between the two. You're going to really like this. Matt's all excited. So he comes in, and we're in my room together. I'm on my loft, and he's on the bed across the way from me. And I'm reading my book. He's reading his, okay? So first of all, Matt starts breathing really heavily, really fast. Like, he's over there, and he's like mouth breathing his way through this book, doing his best, because he's like, and the Game of Thrones, it starts off with this really chilling...
Picture, like, all the cogwheels going really hard, like, and I'm combusting at this point. Like, my CPU's at 100%. I'm going nuts. Like, I breathe so loudly. Do you ever notice I breathe extremely loudly? You ever hear me doing it? You do?
Yeah.
I still do it?
Yeah, Matt, you still very much do it, and I thought you got it fixed. But, like, since I've been here, I've been sitting, and, like, when he's concentrating, he's like... like that, just out of nowhere, and then he's breathing heavily. It's just...
He does.
Yeah. It's concerning. What do you think that is?
I don't know. At first I thought, like, it was because he was mad. He'd be like...
He sounds mad, yeah.
It'd be like, what is he pissed about? He'd just be, like, on his computer, like... I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, I
like,
don't even remember
it's
what's happening when it's happening. It just...
Yeah.
Respect the pouch! Respect it! Alright, keep going.
So anyway, yeah, so he's over there, like, just breathing heavily, and I'm like, shut up, why are you always
No,
so
he did
loud?
not go, shut up. He got up from his bunk, chat, and went, shut the fuck up. You are so fucking loud. Would you shut the fuck up? Your breathing is so fucking... I'm on page 2 of this book, chat. I'm literally on page 2 of the book. And he's telling me to shut the fuck up because I'm being so fucking loud. He's screaming at me. And then, keep going.
Yeah, so I didn't scream at him. But anyway, I said, I think you have a deviated septum, and he went and checked. He did, in fact, have a deviated septum. And I thought you got it fixed, but apparently not.
I literally got a deviated septum surgery because Dave told me that my deep...
Wait, so why are you still heavily breathing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I actually do not know. But
Habitual.
But I Dave got me surgery. I literally got surgery because Dave told me to. He knew by just looking at me from 12 feet away that he could read right through me to the point where he knew what problems I had.
Yep.
So he was correct. I had a deviant septum. I got it fixed. I didn't do the proper things afterwards, but it came back. Tell him the bike story. It's funny.
Wait, this isn't done yet because this book again. Have you seen the show?
Mm-mm.
God, I'm so old. I think everyone used to watch that show.
Dave was the kind of guy in college. Well, it sounded like I said gynecologist. Gynecologist. Dave's the kind of gynecologist now. Dave's the kind of guy in college that if you weren't 6'8" and you didn't know everything that happened with the Dothrakis in Game of Thrones, you were a fucking loser and he didn't want to look at you.
I am really impressed you remember the Dothrakis.
Khal Drogo.
You didn't remember it was Khal Drogo. Oh, that was another example of that girl who really hated Matt. Or not hated him, but that he was really interested in, and then she got with her friend Ace. Matt was like, it was me, him, and her. We were at the cafeteria just like hanging out. And Matt was like, I love Game of Thrones. I'm really loving the show. You know who I really like? And this is a spoiler for people who haven't seen the show. So like close your ears right now if you haven't seen season 1. But Matt's like, I really love Khal Drogo and Daenerys. What a great pair. And she said, this girl who didn't like Matt was like, enjoy it while it lasts. And Matt was like, why would you say that to me?
She did do that.
And that's why he stopped watching the show. Like, he stopped watching the show because he was so upset.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was such a bitch. I kept going.
Yeah, he stopped watching the show, kept going for her. So anyway, actually, that might even have been after she got with Ace. I'm not sure. But anyway, which makes it even worse. But anyway, so yeah, he's reading the book, and like probably 30 to 45 minutes go by. All right. And while we're reading, and like I've been going through and enjoying the story and everything, and I look over and I can see from the book that there's only a tiny sliver of pages that he has gotten through so far. I said, Matt, what are you on right now? And he described the events that happen on like the 3rd page of the prologue. This show and the book start off with the same prologue. Matt, in like what was actually probably closer to an hour, had gone through less than 10 pages of the book. Like, it was so slow for him. Because he was like, I keep rereading each page. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I don't know. I forget. So I just have to keep... I've never read a book. I never read an actual book. Friendly's the only book I read. So I can't read, dude. I can't do it. I suck. But it's funny. That's all that matters. It was a good time.
It was like I went out and told everyone on the floor, and they were all dying because they were like, "Oh my!" At that point, we're like, "Has he only read Frindle?" Like he would tell us that. He'd tell us he'd only ever read Frindle. We're like, "Is that true?" Because that seems very specific. There's no way he'd read other books. It's just too slow. Like it just was. It would take him way too long to read other books.
Tell the bike story.
About Juice?
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt's roommate before Ace was this guy named Juice. All right. I can say the names, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. All right, need to make sure. These are all nicknames, obviously, so it doesn't really apply. But anyway, so his roommate was this guy named Juice. Oh, should we talk about how you got Ace instead of Juice?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
All right. But anyway, at the time, his roommate was this guy named Juice who was in the room, and it was a big problem from the very start. They did not mesh as roommates, and they were like the only ones on the floor who had chosen each other.
Wait, I thought I was supposed to hear the story.
Chat, I hated him from... Look, I didn't hate him at all. So, here's what happened.
It wasn't hate.
It was no hate. Here's what happened. So, I posted on... Back in the day, Facebook. Do you guys remember Facebook? Who remembers your Facebook, huh? So, before it was Meta, and before no one fucking used Facebook, right? And their stock dropped 27%. I used Facebook. And we posted on the school Facebook page to get into the school, right? It was like class of 2013 for Rutgers. So I posted on Facebook this really funny post looking for a roommate, right? And when I did that, it got like hundreds of likes. People were like, dude, you're so funny. Oh my God, I want to be your roommate. You should stream, dude. That's so great. Let's make out in your Dodge Charger, whatever. So this all happened. I was fucking nasty from day one. And this kid named Juice was like, dude, I want to be your roommate so bad. So he's like, let's meet up. We met up in real life. I liked him. I was like, sure, let's move in. Great. Day one, we move in. I had this 50-inch plasma screen TV for Super Smash Brothers, right?
That was awesome.
And everyone loved it on my floor.
Yeah.
Okay?
He was generous enough to put it out in the communal area and everything. Like, it was great.
I put all my games and everything into the computer lounge. in chat, something tragic happened one day. Someone stole my Super Smash Bros. Melee.
No.
I don't even want to talk. I'm not even telling that story because it's so tragic. Someone stole my Melee. I don't want to talk about it. It's actually a tragic story, especially when you're a broke college kid and Melee was $50 fucking and I had no money. So anyway, here's what happens. What was I saying?
You come in the room. You're just moving in with Juice, and what was he doing?
Chat. Cover your ears. That's good enough. Flash out of here. He was playing League of Legends. And we were a Smite family.
Everyone played Smite on this floor. Everyone
Dave played a lot of Smite.
Big Smite.
Some would say more than everyone else.
Yeah, not then, because it wasn't available on Mac yet, but it was, yes.
Dave is only a Mac guy, chat. He does not do PCs and shit. He only did Mac, and he only played Smite. That's all he cared about, was Smite. There was nothing else in this world but Smite and Max and code. That's all he cared about. So Dave was just a fucking god to everybody.
You guys played it when I was, yeah. It looked awesome. I spectated them playing. It looked like an amazing game. Very, like, educational, too, because you get to learn about different cultures and history. Seemed way
Chat,
better.
you all have PCs and you're all spamming Giga Chat Mac only. Max Smite player. And chat, he didn't have a mouse, he'd play on a trackpad.
Yeah. I could only play support characters.
So
I
imagine
couldn't
this
aim.
6'8" dude in the library with like his perfect posture, water bottles only, and he's playing Smite on a Mac pad while everyone else is just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Oh, I miss those days, man. I miss them.
That's all he would do. Like, it was just so stupid. It was it made no sense.
I did the same thing, actually. I had a MacBook Air, and I played League on the trackpad to
That's a
solve
very
it.
different thing. You
Is
played
it?
League?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're talking about not doing right now.
Okay, well, they're very similar
No.
games. They're very similar games.
Really? You
Smite's
learn a lot about...
more simple, though.
Smite is more
It's
simple.
a lot more of a straightforward game.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you right now, all right? The impact a game has outside of the game is much more important than the actual game itself. You can come and tell me, oh, League of Legends taught me so many life skills. No, it did not. You're a liar.
Yeah, no,
Smite
I never said that.
taught me about other cultures. It taught me about history. I am able to bond with my coworkers over knowledge of different religions because of Smite. You can't get that from League of Legends. It's all made up lore about this guy and that guy and who knows who they are, all right?
Not to mention, I mean, Dave was talking and you interrupted him, which was really fucking annoying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, that was, you literally, I cannot believe you just did that. As Smite enjoyer, you ruined it. Like, what the fuck was that? Dave, continue your story. We're so sorry.
I think you were talking.
Oh, yeah. Dude, chat, Dave, back in the day, we worshipped Dave. Like, what you're doing now is, and it's true, we worshipped Dave. We did exactly what you're doing. You know how Simply treats Dave? That's all we did every day. We just worshipped Dave.
It was actually very weird to me because I remember early on, we were all just like friends on the floor.
Yeah.
For like, and it was like, we've been there for like a week, all right? And I normally wear contact lenses, okay? But occasionally I'll put on glasses. Matt came into my room one day and he was like, Dave, and I had my glasses on. I looked up and he said, oh, you're not perfect? And I said, why would you even have thought that? We had known each other for a week, and honestly, I felt bad about wearing glasses at that point.
I cried for a couple days, Chad. I cried for a couple days.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, so you could have my girl, but Dave's not perfect. Brendan, chat, you remember Brendan? Brendan loves to work. He still worships Dave. Brendan, they all met up like a couple months ago, and Brendan, they were all at like my friend Corey's house, right?
Yeah.
And Dave's like, yo, I'm on the way. He's like 20 minutes away. So Brendan and Corey start to make a at-home gym for Dave, so that way he feels at home and ready to hang out with all of them.
No,
yeah,
they were like getting
Dave
like
can't just sit,
barbells
he
together.
has to work out.
Yeah.
So they were getting ready for Dave. But go back to the Juice story.
Yes, right. So yeah, anyway, so Juice, his roommate, they didn't get along. It wasn't just the league thing, but like I also had trouble getting along with Juice at the time because Juice was someone who like always asked. He's like he wanted to improve, but he didn't take the steps to do it at that time. I'm sure he's a lot better now, but it was like frustrating for me and Matt because we both really wanted to help him. You know, I think Matt maybe just wanted to make fun of him. Hard to tell. But I was like, come on, come to the gym with me. Like, follow my diet. This will be great. And he did. And I was like, well, what are you going to do? So anyway, at one point, we had convinced Juice, like all of us had our bikes to get around campus. Juice was the only one who didn't have one. And we're like, Juice, you gotta get yourself a bike. Get a bike down here. So he went and he just got like the cheapest bike at Walmart or something. Just he was like, I want to have something to ride around. So then, like, very early on at school, a prank war started because we're like, wait, we're college freshmen. Aren't we supposed to have like a prank war like the movies or something? Do you remember this, by the way?
Nope. That's why I'm enjoying you talking about it, because I don't remember.
Yeah. So I was out and I was getting my bike at the bike rack, which was right next to our apartment. And I noticed like someone had taken the wheel off, and this guy Juice like leans out the window. We're on the second floor of our building. He leans out the window and he's like, "Hey Dave, I guess the wheels on the bike don't go round and round." One of the worst jokes I've heard in my entire life. As I'm sitting here like, I have to put my fucking bike back together.
Keep in mind, chat, Dave's used to me with jokes, right? So he's already used to bad jokes. So he was really fucking pissed off with this one. It was actually the cringy. Wait, I remember how cringy it was. We were dying of cringe. We were like, did you really just say that? That's when war began. We knew we had to start something.
Right. So we went and like Matt had the combination to Juice's lock, so we could take the bike off. So we went and like we hid it somewhere. We made this mistake of telling some like other guy who didn't live on our floor, who like we didn't know as well. But like that guy took Juice's bike and he launched into a pond. Like he just like ramped it down into a pond. It was like really murky water and shit. And it was like his bike was like in there, and I was like, oh my gosh. And like we told Juice, like, Juice, like we didn't know this happened, and Matt and I went and told Juice, like, hey Juice, looking for your bike? We threw it in the pond. Like it was just like a funny thing to do, not knowing that this other guy had actually done it. And he totally fessed up later and everything. But Juice was pretty pissed. Bikes are not supposed to go in the pond. They'll rust and everything. So I felt really bad. Like I helped Juice get his bike out of the pond. We had to I was climbing on this tree that had poison oak on it and everything, or poison ivy.
It didn't affect Dave, chat. It didn't affect Dave.
No,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm immune to poison ivy. That's what it is.
Somehow I got poison oak from Dave climbing the tree.
But we went and we got his bike.
Yeah, we did.
And we fetched because we felt so bad because we're like, oh my gosh, we told him we threw it in, and then it hadn't been thrown in. It clearly just been pushed in a little bit. It was just off the side. But we got the bike for him. We felt bad and it had this mud and everything on it. It looked pretty beat up. But from that point on, Juice didn't ride the bike as much because it was kind of gross. And I think he cleaned it off, but it started to rust a little bit. It just didn't run as well as it used to. And he stopped doing it. It was too bad. But anyway, he locked his bike up to the best parking spot for bikes at our apartment. And then there were after a certain point, enough people had their bikes, there was no parking available for bikes anymore. So then I'm always coming back, and his bike is in the way. I want to park there. It's all taken. I go inside. I say, Juice, you gotta move your bike, man. I just had to go park my bike on the other side of the building. It's a huge hassle. He said, and you were in the room. Yeah. You were in the room. He was playing League of Legends. He was like, I don't give a shit about that bike. You can throw it in the trash for all I care, or throw it in the dumpster for all I care. There's a dumpster behind the building. He's like, you throw it in the dumpster for all I care. Now we heard that, and we were like, time to have fun with this bike. It's he doesn't want the bike anymore. If he legitimately doesn't care about it, then we're gonna make it a modern art piece. So there's a tree right in the middle. We had a sort of a courtyard structure at our dorm, and Matt and I went out and we unlocked his bike. We go to this nice big tree. And I just pressed the bike overhead, pressed it up above my head, and Matt climbed up in the tree, okay? And he takes the bike lock, and we slowly move the bike up the tree, so it's just hanging out, this really weird ornament or something. And
we're like modern day Banksy's, chat. We're just making art in the fucking place because we're just trying to figure shit out. It was really good content.
Banksy is modern day,
right?
What is a non-modern day Banksy? Anyway. So Matt, and then he locks the bike up there, so it's just hanging out of this tree. And we're like, this is so funny and awesome, and Juice doesn't care. It's it's not even damaging the bike or anything, right? It's just hanging out. If he still wants it, we can get it down for him and everything. He was actually, I think he was even a little shorter than Matt. I think he was 5'7".
We don't want to talk about that.
So he was an inch shorter than you. But anyway, so it would have been hard for him to get a bike. I was we can totally get it for him if he wants it. But anyway, people are coming by. People are loving the bike hanging from the tree. It was a big thing for the whole apartment building. Everyone whoa, who did that? That's so funny.
They're posting on their Facebooks, chat. People, it's their Tumblrs and shit. It was great content.
Yeah, yeah. The people really enjoy. Oh, Tumblr, wow, yeah.
But we knew that we needed to do more.
Right. Well, and yeah. So we took it down at some point, and next order of business was that didn't get enough coverage. Not enough people saw the bike hanging from the tree. It was just our apartment. But there was this like there were these like tall fences, you know, the ones that are usually around fields and whatnot that are like or like tennis courts and stuff that are like I don't know, what is it, 20 feet tall or so? 15, 20 feet tall? I'm not sure.
Dave had to reach up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So there's these really tall fences, and like all the freshman dorms basically have to pass by these really tall fences in order to get to the cafeteria and the gym and like all the class buildings and stuff. So like, I think this is our next location. So we go over there and like pretty much the same order of business. Like Matt goes and climbs up the fence, and like I'm passing up to him. We may have had someone else help us too on this one. It may have just been you and me. But anyway, we get it up there and it's hanging up on this fence for all to see. And we're like, okay, this is great. And so many people walked by this thing, like months and months. Yeah, not
Top
months.
of life,
It was like, probably like a week. It was not very long actually. It was probably like a week max. But people would walk by and like everyone knew about the bike, and they're like, who the hell did that? Why isn't anyone taking it down? And then it turned out that Juice did want his bike after all, and he was pretty upset about it.
Yeah, he was such a little bitch. But anyway, so chat, we did some other cool shit. Dave would always ride around on his bike everywhere, right? Yeah. It's literally everyone knew Dave, everyone knew him, and I was like, I was a nobody. I was straight up a nobody. People were like, hey Dave, nice to see you. Got taller? Like, what's going on with you? Meanwhile, I would like be like walking with Dave, and no one knew who I was. I was an omega lol nobody. I was nobody.
It was not that extreme.
Did everyone know who you were and no one cared who I was?
Not everyone knew who I was, and no one cared who you are.
Dave, everyone knew who you were. They were just afraid to show it.
I don't think that's true either. But
so chat. So I was a parasite to Dave, right? And I'm walking around and stuff like that. So we one day found a Kmart card, and I'm like, yo, Dave, what if I get like a belt or some shit and I attach to your bike and you drive me around campus? So chat, we had our own system where Dave would drive me to class with a cart. Yeah,
we got a good number of people in there. Like we'd have like 3 or 4 people. It was a great leg workout because I'd be like the inertia to overcome that many people, like hundreds of pounds of people, on a bike is very difficult. So it was like a great quadriceps workout, and I'd get everybody to class. So that was great.
So Dave would get a nice workout, a very light workout, you know. Meanwhile, he's carrying me around from class up hills and stuff.
Yeah.
So Dave did that all shit, which was really fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And one day, this was before Uber chat. Like, this was before it all. So one day, this girl was told, like, yeah. Remember that story?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, we were heroes.
Yeah.
Dave, tell him.
Yeah, oh my gosh. We saved a girl's life. I think, at least. It was not her. But yeah, Matt and I, like, I think, like, I was maybe getting ready for bed. I'm not sure, but I was, like, reading a book or something. Matt was probably playing video games. And he came over, he was like, dude. Jules, a friend of ours who's on her floor, you know, she said that, like, another girl on her floor, another friend of ours.
Dude, Bruce, viewers, get out of my stream. Keep going.
Who's Bruce? Oh,
it's this douchebag I know. And then his viewers are saying, he's so fine. Keep going.
How do you know they're his viewers?
Bro, I slick my hair back one day and they think I look good.
Good. So anyway, yeah. So Matt's like, hey, like, she said that another friend of ours, Lauren, is like at some dude's place. Like she's really sick. Like she had too much to drink or something. She's really sick and like she can't get up. She's really worried about it. Like she needs us to get over there and take care of it. And this is like we had helped her out before. Like we were just like the trustworthy guys.
We were good friends, chat.
Yeah. No, straight up. It's like there are a lot of guys in college who get a little bit on the creepy side sometimes and like can make girls uncomfortable. Matt never did that because he would just make fun of them, so they never thought that he had any ulterior motives. I had a girlfriend, so it was just like we were 2 very trustworthy guys, and we made very careful of that.
You hear that, Tips? I told you. Keep going.
Yeah. And so anyway, they hit us up when they needed help.
What are you cringing for?
I'm just listening to
No,
the story.
you literally just cringed. I saw that.
I can't control my face. I'm sorry.
So why did you cringe? Can we talk? Like, why? What is cringe about me and Dave saving a girl's life?
It hasn't even gone to that part of the story.
You're just are you cringing because did it sound like I was making us sound better than we are? Like I wasn't trying to like talk us up or anything. Are you cringing because?
I'm not cringing.
I didn't see you cringe. Did she actually cringe?
Yes, she cringed. She literally died of cringe right there for a second. Emmy, what the fuck? What did we do wrong? We saved the girl's life. If you think that's cringy, what org are you on, Emmy? Huh?
I don't know. OTK.
Thank God. Okay, keep going. Jesus
All right, this
Christ.
isn't a cringe story, all right? This is not a cringe story. Jeez. So anyway, Matt's like, yeah, we got to get over there. And I'm like, oh, damn, okay, like, let's go take care of it. But you can't take the Matt out of Matt, right? Like, he couldn't just go over and help this girl. He's like, let's go over with the shopping cart. We always wanted to go places with the shopping cart. I said, even better. So I got my bike, and Matt, it wasn't a belt. It was you had a length of chain.
Fuck
you remember that? You had a length of chain?
I don't remember that shit.
No, we found it on the roof, remember?
I didn't remember everything. What the fuck? I don't remember any of this shit. Keep going.
So, anyway, we used the shopping cart to get the chain, whatever. So, Matt would have a length of chain wrapped around me, not a belt. So, anyway, he was like, okay, let's get over there. We knew where she was. It was at, like, one of the other freshman apartments. Was it, like, the Honors building or something like that? Yeah. It was, like, the one that, it was the only building that wasn't with the rest of them. It was, like, on the other side of campus, almost, actually.
Right.
So, we go riding over there real fast. We have to go up hills to get there and everything. So, like, really good workout. I'm breathing heavy by the time we get to this place. Get to this dorm, and we're like, okay, like, what's going on? Where is everybody? And we get buzzed in by our friend Jules, and we head upstairs to where this guy, he's like on the second floor, third floor, I think it was the second floor, and
which was another good workout for Dave.
I wasn't carrying you.
Oh.
Matt walked. I'm just like with you in my arms. Yeah, no. I just walked up the stairs with Matt too. We get to the room, and this guy's there. And, like, she had gone back to this dude's apartment, our friend Lauren, but then she had gotten, like, really sick. Like, they went on a party together, and hit it off. She went back to his place, but then, like, she had a bathroom. Because it was the honors program, they had, like, all the nice stuff. So, like, there was a bathroom in the guy's dorm, like, in his actual room, in a private one. And she was in there just throwing up, like, really, really sick, not feeling well. And Matt and I, like, she was also not clothed, was also a problem. So,
yes.
Good thing that friend Jules was there. We're like, you get her dressed. We are not doing that part of this at all. Like, you know, like, we didn't even see anything going on in there. It was like, get her dressed before. We're not going to help her unless she has clothes on, obviously.
We were professional paramedics, Chad.
Yeah. Well, I think professional paramedic would have just gone in. But we were like, we're not going in for that. And
we were unpaid.
We were, yes. And, yeah, the paramedics are often underpaid, so not too different. So, we go in, finally, she's got her clothes on. We're like, oh my gosh, like, she is out cold. Thank God we brought the shopping cart. Like, This is the best part of this, is we brought the shopping cart. We're not going to have to carry her all the way across campus. We head back downstairs real fast. We grab the shopping cart, bring it through the building. Everyone in here, again, it's like the honors program. They got, like, a pool table set up and everything, all this good stuff.
Yeah, everyone actually, that was smart there, Chad. Like, literally everyone was, like, doing homework. They're all Daves, essentially.
But not me, because I wasn't in the honors program. But anyway, so we go on in and we have the shopping cart. We bring it up the stairs. It's kind of a bit of a hassle because it's not like super heavy, but it's a cumbersome shape. Get up there, and we're like, okay, time to get Lauren. And this guy, Ryan, the guy's name was Ryan. We met him that night. Not a great guy in my opinion.
His name was Simply, wasn't it?
It was not. No. It was some douche Chad guy, but he was like super pissed off the whole time. Like, we're trying to help out our friend, and he's just like, yeah, like, maybe you guys could hurry up a little bit. Like, as if this guy's in a fucking rush. Like, we're not doing him a huge favor by getting this drunk, like vomiting girl out of his apartment. It's like, is this somehow our fault? Like, I get he's not having the best night of his life, right? Like, he was like, oh, this is going great. I'm bringing this girl back to my apartment, and now it just, like, took the ultimate turn for the worse. But, like, be fucking helpful. Like, he was just watching us. He was, like, a pretty built
Chad,
dude.
he was pissed. He was literally mad that we were trying to save a girl. And he's like, he's mad he didn't get his dick sucked. That's all it was.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
I'm sure.
He was a frat douchebag. He was like, oh, fuck, dude, I didn't get my dick sucked today. So, like, I'm fucking annoyed. And this girl's puking in the corner with no clothes on, and he's, like, pissed. Yeah. He was honestly, there's just nothing else to call him but a huge douche.
Yeah. So then, yeah, we got her, like, out. Like, we couldn't, like, she couldn't walk. She couldn't stand at all. So we're just kind of, like, carrying her a bit. Like, she's kind of rolling around. She's, like, really sweaty, too. Like, she's really sick. Legitimately, like, she's not well. And, like, arguably, like, ambulance should have been called. But I don't think it was quite to that point. And obviously it turned out not to be that point. So we pick her up, and we load her up in the shopping cart. All right? And, like, okay, we're good. Now, the hard part, get the shopping cart down the stairs without tipping her out of it. Or just, like, dropping it, you know, bumping her as little as possible. Get her into the stairwell. All right, maybe now it's time for frat boy to help us out. No, he's just like at the top of the stairs, just like, yeah, you guys got it, and like basically just leaves. And we're like, no. I mean, like, she wasn't like a huge girl or anything, but I'm still just
So
like.
we asked her to help us. We're like, can you get out of the shopping cart and help us bring it downstairs?
Is it cool if you walk? No, and like her friend Jules was real small girl, so like she wasn't gonna.
Chat, she is straight up girl from Jersey Shore. That was her goal, was to be a girl from like Snooki.
Yeah,
she wanted to be Snooki.
Yeah, she's very like Snooki. Yeah, I think she got like Snooki's signed book or something too.
Yeah,
if I recall correctly.
She literally got all that shit.
Yeah. So anyway, I keep saying it, but we get her into the shopping cart. We do manage to get her down the stairs, trying really hard. Good thing we've been going to the gym so much and eating a ton in the cafeteria.
Working our biceps.
The biceps didn't come in handy as much there, but yeah, we were doing everything. I think I was at the top, you were at the bottom or something, so you were taking the brunt of the weight, so good for you. And we get her down, push her through, and we're like, again, we're pushing past all these pool tables, all the honors kids and stuff, and they're like, huh, kind of fucking weird to see two guys just like go upstairs to the shopping cart, come down with a drunk, passed out girl in it. But no one really gave us a hard time about it. We make our way out. Now at this point, it would have not been feasible to pull the shopping cart around anymore. So I was just going to push the shopping cart like normal. So Matt decided to go get on my bike, which was not the right size for him. Do you remember that, by the way? Because
No.
I completely forgot about that when I was talking about this story last.
No.
But Matt went and got on my bike. He looked ridiculous on like his like little toes were just barely reaching the pedals. And I think he even had to like lower the seat or something. And then so he's just like riding in circles around the shopping cart, just like singing little songs and just being like normal D-gen behavior. Did I get that right?
Did I really do that?
Yeah, you 100% did that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because you were not like you were like go to sleep or anything, but you were just like going around keeping the spirits high and everything. And I'm pushing her back across campus as you're kind of like escorting us.
I'll take it.
Now, a number of times people did get a little worried. You know, it was pretty late at night. It was probably like 2 or something when parties were winding down. People were walking home, and they just see me pushing a girl home in a shopping cart who's clearly passed out. Matt riding around on a bike, and there's like some small girl with us. I think if Jules hadn't been there, I feel like people would have actually like just straight up stopped us. Said like, hey, no, we're calling the police. You can't kidnap girls. But luckily Jules was there, and like anytime they'd be like, hey, is she okay? Is she okay? We're like, yeah. We're getting her back to her dorm. Meanwhile, Matt's just like coasting around on his bike. Get her all the way back across campus, being really careful to go down the hills we previously went up. Not as good of a workout, obviously. And we get all the way back to the to our apartment, get her up to her place. Are you okay?
It's that bicep workout.
Yeah, good for you, buddy. We get her all the way back to her place, get her in bed and everything. Her roommate took it from there, and Jules was checking in on her. We go back over and we tell all the guys on our floor the story of what just happened tonight. Like, oh, how the hell did we miss this? They missed the call. And
That's
we
it?
got
That's
to be the big heroes.
Cal, we got an appreciation thread. It was fucking sick. Yo,
was just
Espen,
like,
why did you raid me? Wait, what? Espen, why'd you go offline? Huh? So chat, TLDR of the story is, I'm a good guy, alright? Dave is right. I'm a good guy, alright? I was keeping the spirits up. I was making everybody happy and excited. Emmy, you talked way too much during that story. It was kind of annoying. Wait, why did Espen go offline? It's not like, he's got like 12 more hours to his stream. Why did he go offline? Does anyone know? What's go? Meeting. What's today?
Friday.
Meeting. He had a call.
Did you miss a call, Matt?
Oh, I'm not invited.
Oh, all right. Very good.
All right. Is there any other stories that we have? I feel like we have nothing.
Well, but there was the other part of the juice thing where you didn't want to be roommates with him anymore.
Oh, that's boring.
You don't like that?
I mean, I just was like, you're playing too much League of Legends. You're a degenerate. No, chat. Is anyone else like this? I would only take classes. Yes, keep nodding your head. I would only go take classes at 6:30 at night or 3:30. That's it. That's all I would take. It's class at 3:30, 6:30. I would never take morning classes. I fucking hate
First
that
semester, he did take morning classes, and I had to like I would wake him up because otherwise he wouldn't go.
It was terrible. It was the worst morning. Dude, I couldn't do it. So my roommate, I was trying to do morning classes. He would be up till like 4 and 5 in the morning playing League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
So he was up all night playing League. And I'm like, dude, the light is blinding me. I cannot sleep. You're grunting and you're walking around eating potato chips.
It was clicking. It was that really loud clicking.
Oh,
he would do it all
true.
night. Just constant clicking. It was ridiculous.
I'm like, why can't you play Smite like Dave where he just uses the mouse pad? But he's like, dude, no. I use clicking. And I think he was like Silver 3 or some really high rank. And I'm like, dude, look, I get it. Get out. So my friend Ace, who was at another room, they swapped. And so we pretty much just completely switched roommates. And I still believe that the guy that he switched roommates with, I still believe he stole my melee.
Oh my god, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it already? He stole my melee.
Yeah. No, straight up. Yeah, that guy was a problem. That was another time that I saw you really upset. I think that he did something that did make.
Should I just dox him? I should just say his full name and address, right?
No, you don't. Okay, we don't know his address. I don't think even.
I'll just leak it by accident.
You don't even know his full name. Maybe you do. But no, yeah, that guy who Juice ended up moving in with and was potentially the video game thief. That guy, I forget what he did exactly. I think I wasn't even there that weekend. But that guy, he did something that made you cry. I remember
he beat me in Smash.
He did. It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
No, he did some really fucking annoying shit, and then someone stole my melee, and I was really fucking pissed. But anyway, that's the whole story chat. Yeah. Listen, there's a lot more stories I have to college. But you're going to have to subscribe to hear the rest. And honestly, I don't feel like telling it. Emmy looks like she really enjoyed any of it. Did you enjoy any of that?
It was great.
Yeah, why do you hate everything? Can we talk about
I don't hate everything.
You hate Dave. You hate Dave.
I don't hate Dave.
I brought you down here to... You don't... What do you not like about him? Is that he's perfect?
No,
I don't hate Dave.
Okay, the other day, Matt asked her, right before while we were watching The Social Network, he said, Emmy, do you hate Dave? And she said, just a little. And I said, why?
It was a joke.
Okay, I asked you why.
One of hating people's funny... Gideon. Do you know who Gideon is?
I don't know what that is. Or who
Pokemon's best friend.
Oh, I know Pokemon. She was in Free Guy.
She was also on my stream. And guess what she did?
What?
She got mad at me because I wasn't supporting her. I'm like, look, I'll go on stream and do your little hashtag out of a friendship thing. So I defended her. I'm like, oh, Gideon, you're a bad guy. You shouldn't have done this. Fuck
it's a guy.
Yes.
Oh.
And you know what she does a week later?
Wait, who's she then?
Pokemon.
Oh, Gideon's a dude. Okay, got you. Okay.
She hangs out with him and gets food. And I'm like, fuck you, Pokemon. So I'm done with her. I'm done. Yes, if you hate Dave, it's only enviousness. Dave, stand up.
I'm taller than Emmy, if that's what we're about to do.
Chat, he is taller than you, which means he is better than you. And then that's just it. I got you. I remember what you said to me freshman year.
What did I say to you?
That you're better than me.
I didn't say that.
That's the first thing you said to me when you looked at me.
I didn't say that.
You didn't need to say anything.
That's not... Okay, I just would like to say, Matt...
I don't like that you have to do that. Like, when you're taking a fucking knee to get on my level.
Like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, like...
You did great out there, all right? Now, Matt will make it out that I'm super full of myself and, like, we'll just walk out to people and be like, you suck. I do not do that. I do not do that.
Chat, does he not do that this entire... Did he not make you feel like shit the entire time because he was just talking? You're still...
No.
Damn
I'm
it.
still taller than you.
See, like that, he's doing it on purpose. He knows what he's doing. Chat, he reads books. How annoying is that? He's like, oh, who's reading this book on the Apple Man? And I'm like, oh, that's me. He's like, no, you're not. He was right. I really wasn't reading it.
I know.
But you know what we're doing, chat? So me and Dave, we bought a bookshelf. And we're only going to put one book on it, which is Frindle. And it's going to be upstairs.
That's my favorite joke from the whole time I've been here. It's a bookshelf with just Frindle on it.
I had a dream about Emmy, and I don't even watch her stream. I mostly watch XUC. I'm a juicer. Emaru is so great.
Hey.
Do you want to VIP this guy? His name is M8GLE.
Why did you have to single out that one message?
Because he said he's a juicer. So I was going to ban him anyway.
What's a juicer?
XQC fan.
Why are they called juicers?
I don't know.
They stole it from our roommate.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was like, what is their...
I'm only here for the stalling. Gonna leak. Dude, you're only here for me to talk about random garbage?
Oh, you can get his whole history. Wow.
Yeah, you can get everything. Cutie Cinema is actually cringe. I'm going to VIP you. You're fine with my books. You're fine with my books. Not a problem with you. All right, chat. Did you like the stories? I hope what the stories tell you, chat, is that I have not changed. In fact, Dave even said this, and it's true. I'm less ridiculous than I was back then.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I was back then, chat. I was off the walls. It was way too much. Like, I got in trouble all the time for being off the wall crazy. And I had no viewers. I had nobody. The only people I had is them or in Discord playing PUBG. That's all I had.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. It was a great time. Kind of. We hated our lives.
We had a great time. What do you hate your life?
I did not like after... You know what I liked, Dave? I liked up to the point where I was getting with the hot girl, and then I got cucked. When I got cucked, I hated my life.
It was like 2 months into school.
Literally 2 months into school, I did not want to... I was not happy anymore. Because I just got cucked, and then here's what happened, chat. In the East Coast, once Halloween happens, after that, parties are over. Because back then, at least, because there was no Ubers back then. So when you would go to parties in the East Coast, you'd have to walk. You'd have to walk to parties 25, 30 minutes in the freezing cold. It was not worth it. So we just stopped going to parties. So after Halloween, which I wasn't getting invited to Halloween parties anyway, you know, it was over. So yeah, it sucked.
I want to clarify, there were still parties. We just didn't go to them after that point.
Because, dude, walking there for 20 minutes and then walking back wasn't so bad because you're drunk, but walking there was miserable.
Yeah. But I remember, like, there were still parties happening.
Of course.
Okay, you said there were no parties after Thanksgiving, or after Halloween.
If a bear shits in the woods.
If a tree falls in a forest.
Is that what it is?
People say, does a bear shit in the woods? It's like, obviously, yes.
Obviously, there's more parties.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
But if a bear shits in the wood, if a tree falls in the forest, and it doesn't make a sound, if I don't know there's parties, therefore there's no parties. It's like Stortinger's cat.
What did you call it?
Stortinger.
Oh my god. Is that a reference to something, or do you actually know how to pronounce Schrodinger?
No, I didn't know how to say Schrodinger.
Yeah, but anyway.
Chat, what's Stortinger? Is that from, what's that one movie that was my favorite movie of all time? Stortinger's cat. Schindler's List.
Oh my god.
What?
Don't talk about Schindler's List.
It was an amazing movie.
Yes.
It was an amazing movie. It was easily one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a fantastic movie. Yes.
I watched it in high school. But yeah, you know what? Let's not get canceled today. Dave, thank you for telling only the stories that didn't get me canceled.
You're welcome.
Because there was a lot of stories. And Emmy, thanks for cringing at all of them.
You're welcome.
Why was the cringe about?
How am I supposed to react to these like college bro stories? Like I can't relate at all.
Are these
like
bro
I'm listening.
stories?
Wait, what did you do in college?
I mean, like, people would ask for my Snapchat. I'd be like, I only use Discord, sorry. Then they try to add me, and I couldn't find the request because I was a streamer, and that's it. I like didn't talk to anyone in college.
Do you think it's bro stories that were like, hey, we saved
Ew,
the
I'm
girl,
cringing.
and you're like, wow,
no,
such
like
a
the
bro
other
story.
ones.
What other ones?
How about like when we saved a girl's life? Like that's
Yeah,
cringe,
you
right?
saved a girl's life.
Because Dexter, you got that
I
right.
didn't
You cringed
cringe
at a girl getting her
I
life
didn't
saved in a
cringe
cart.
at that one.
Which ones were you cringing at? You were cringing at
I was cringing
Matt?
at the Ice Poseidon story.
Okay,
How is
that's
that
fine.
that's a very cringe story. It's not a bro story. You're not like classic bros talking about Ice Poseidon getting rejected. It's not a bro story. That's not what that is.
Dave, were you around when, what was her name? Devin.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dave
Yeah.
should verify this is true, chat.
I keep track of all the girls' names so that you don't have to.
Thank you. Yeah, that required a lot of cogwheels turning.
Yes.
So, chat, this is a real story. There's a girl named Devin. You already don't believe it. Here's how I met her, okay? My friend Corey, and this is true, he got a date with a girl on Tinder. And she's like, oh, can I bring a friend? And Corey's like, hell yeah, because me and Corey were boys. We were, like Drake and Josh shit, you know what I mean? So me and Corey are like, let's roll up. The girls go to Corey's place, and she is one of the hottest girls I ever got with in my entire life. Was she not really hot?
She was very attractive.
She was, straight up a 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10, and I never say that. She was gorgeous.
She had
gorgeous.
The blue eyes and the very dark hair, like raven hair, very unusual combination.
Really nice eyebrows, something I'm not used to.
Eyebrows.
So this girl, beautiful, chat. She rolls up, and I'm like, oh shit, Corey. So me and Corey, when we're together, we get in really stupid modes, right? So immediately, while we start hanging out, we didn't know what to play. Like kids play like 21 Savage and shit. We played this in a cup and we put his phone in it, trying to impress the girls. Like while we were, it was two of us. You could cringe to this. Jellyfish jam for 4 hours. So we're all partying. It's 2 girls, 2 guys. We're drinking, and all we played was Jellyfish Jam in a cup with an iPhone. So they obviously fell in love, right? So this girl, I think we go to a party. I start making out with her. Boom, I was in. She was like, "Fuck yeah, I love that shit." So we go to this party. We start making out. Girl actually likes me because Dave's not there, so he doesn't cuck me. And I'm like, "All right, bada boom, bada bing. Here we go." While I'm making out with her, I make sure to go to the side of the party where all the guys are short, so that way she doesn't look at me weirdly, right? We start making out. Great things happen, right? And then she's like talking to me, right? She works at a restaurant and she's a waitress. And I'm like, "Damn, you're hot as hell." We start making out. We start doing stuff. And she's like, "Why don't I come over?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah." So back then, it was late night when she came over. I was queuing 3v3. We were doing DK Windwalker Warrior comp, right? I was about to hit 2,000 rating. And as that's happening, she shows up. I'm like, "What's going on with you?" And she's like, let's hang out." So we start hanging out. And back then, I had a rabbit, and his name was Rhymefang from World of Warcraft. And Rhymefang knew what was up. He goes inside his little hut. She's like, "You do you. I'm not going to bother you here." I'm like, "Respect." So my rabbit Rhymefang was the boy. I go on the bed with this girl. We start making out and shit, right? And she starts like immediately getting into it. And she had nipple piercings, which is ridiculously hot, right? We start getting into it. And this girl, we start making out. She starts going for the stick shift, the jalopy. I'm introducing myself as Fingerkif. She's like, "This is great." She then tells me in the middle of us making out, and I'm like, "We're about to have sex. Holy fuck. This is what I dreamed about, boys." Because I always wanted girls. I don't like small talk. I don't like small talk. I hate talking to people, right? Sorry, chat. So I hate small talk. And this girl was just so upfront. She's like, "I just want to fucking suck your dick." Great. And she was hot as hell. Perfect. So she just comes over. We start doing shit. And she grabs my throat. I'm like, "Look, that's fine. I don't really give a shit, okay? Do whatever you want. I'm playing World of Warcraft in 2017. And she looks me dead in the eyes.
That was like that was 2016.
Oh. She looks me dead in the eyes. And I'm like, "What the fuck do you want?" And she says, "I want you to punch me in the face as hard as you can." Then Dave knows this is true because I told him right afterwards. I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "I want you to smash my face." Hello? She's like, "I love getting abused in bed. I want to get hit a lot." And I'm like, "Listen, this is going a little bit too fast. I didn't even tell you about Ice Poseidon yet. This is like, we got to slow down a little bit." She wanted me to punch her in the face, chat. And she was the hottest girl I ever got with. So it was a red flag for me. Drake's in chat for this, I guess. I didn't punch her in the face. I was like, "Look, I cannot do that. I am not going to punch a woman in the face. This is not going to happen."
Someone in chat said she had an Italian fetish.
Dude, what the fuck?
Someone said that.
Would you guys punch a woman in the face? Chat, no way. I knew what I was going to become. I'm like, I'm going to be a big streamer, and I'm not going to punch you in the face. So I did not touch her like that. She got off me and left. It's like it's all she wanted was me to just punch her in the face. She saw these biceps and she was interested. So she was like, she left. I did not do the deliverables. And 2 weeks later, I checked her Facebook, and she had a boyfriend. And a black eye.
You left out a bunch of the story there.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we pick her up in a shopping cart?
We didn't pick her up in a shopping cart.
Wait, what happened?
You didn't want to talk more? Remember the time I came over?
No.
All right. So it wasn't one time that she came over by any means. There was a few times that she came over. Because I would come down just about every weekend to hang out with these guys. They all, like, our whole freshman floor got a house together, but I had transferred. So I came over. You remember I sat down and you're like, "Dave, I have a girl coming over." And I always thought this was a joke, and now I think it might be true. But you're like, Dave, I swear to fucking God, do not stand up when she gets here. Do not stand up when she gets here. I will be so pissed if you do. And I was like, haha, like very funny. We were all just like hanging out, playing Smite, eating egg sandwiches and stuff. So it was like, I wasn't going to get up anyway. She wasn't going to see me.
Yeah, Dave was not getting up. He was in the Smite game.
Yeah, it was important stuff. But anyway, I was just like, hey, whatever when she came in. And then you went upstairs with her. You guys came in, and when you were coming out, you were like, hey, Dave, come up here and stand up and like show her how tall you are. And I did. You're like, do you want to leave me for him or something along those lines? It was like super cringy and weird. Do you not remember this?
No.
And I had a girlfriend, and I was like, okay, why are we having this conversation right now? And you're like, look at him. Look how tall he is. Don't you like that? And she's like, oh,
I'm
no,
cucking
I'm not
myself.
Really.
Did I really cuck myself?
But no, you didn't, because she was like, oh, no, I like you. To you.
Let's fucking go. Okay, she liked the Tims.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, she did really, she actually liked you.
Yeah, I know.
Do you remember how it ended?
Wasn't it that I was going to punch her and I didn't?
No. It's that you just stopped putting in any effort whatsoever. Like, she was still into him. She was definitively still into him. And, like, she and I chat a bit. I'm a big eyebrows guy, and she had nice eyebrows. So we just, we're talking about different techniques and stuff. And then, you know what I'm talking about. That's what Emmy and I were doing last night. So, anyway. That's true.
No, he asked if my eyebrows were real.
Yeah. Well, not that they're real, but I thought maybe you filled them in or something. I wasn't 100% sure. You have very good eyebrows.
Thank you.
You didn't correct me. Thanks, Matt. If you had said very well eyebrows, I would have been so mad at you. But anyway, Matt was doing great work with this girl. She really did like you. The fact that you didn't want to beat her had nothing to do with it.
Really?
It was that you then, I think it was summer break. It was just coming up on summer break. I think you guys had just started talking in like April or May. Went home for summer break, and you're like, oh, I could totally make this still work. Like, I think she lived in South Jersey. You're in North Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And it was like
leaked.
You could have still texted her and everything. And you were just like, seems like it's just gonna be such a big hassle to text with her. You wanted to spend all your time playing World of Warcraft.
That actually is the story. You're right. You are right.
Like shit, we had this was I think before Discord, or maybe I think it was when we still had the Skype thing going.
Yeah, we had Skype.
Yeah. And Matt was just like, oh, I'm on, like, he's just on Skype all the time. He was impossible to get in contact with. And this, like, very, very beautiful girl was totally into Matt. And he just blew her off and ignored her. And then, I don't think I ever told you this, but I did see her again one more time.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. You cucked me. You did stand up.
Not like that. You told me to stand up, first of all. No, I went down to the shore with a couple of my good buddies from my hometown, and we went to
an eyebrow salon.
Not an eyebrow salon. We went to
an eyebrow convention.
We went to Manco's Pizza in Ocean City, and we go to sit down, and I look over, and she came in like 10 minutes after me with, again, a guy that looked like you but with brown eyes. And I was
so not like me at all.
Yeah, but like he looked like a similar build and everything, and she and I locked eyes, totally recognized each other, obviously, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything. I want to tell Matt because I was like, he's so busy with his WoW career and everything. I don't want to distract him from it right now, but I saw it and I was like, oh my god, this guy just looks like Matt still. In many ways. Again, it's not like these are like your doppelgangers.
But we're in New Jersey. No shit he looks like me, Dave. You're like the one tree in the wheat field of Guidos. Like, no shit. Everyone looks like me. I'm a 5'8" fat Italian dude with wings on my back. That's my hair. Of course they all look like me. You're the only one that looks different.
All right. And that's not true. Ace looks like me, too.
Right. Okay, there's like 3 guys in Jersey that...
Yeah.
that
no, that's a stereotype in New Jersey. That's all Guidos. But anyway, he totally had a shot with this girl. She clearly still had interest in him, and he said, no, I'm going to go over and play World of Warcraft. That was really big for you guys at that time. You really ruined it. Could have been happy.
Yeah, but, chat, is it worth it to text a girl for 2 months straight during break, 3 months, just for some domski? Is it really worth it? No. Because I didn't want a relationship or anything like that. I just wanted to get my nut and leave. And she was just like, wanting to talk and blah, 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 and go get pizzas at Marco's. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I just want to get head. And she's like, I just want you to punch me in the head. And it was just like, we were on 2 different sides of the coin at this point, chat. So I was like, listen, I'm sure you can find another Italian who will beat your brains in. And she started fucking a dude from Marco's Pizza.
No, it was Manco's.
Oh.
Manco's.
It's fine.
Yeah. But
It's
no,
fine.
you are such a liar. Isn't because you totally would have gone for a relationship at that time in your life. Why are you making that face?
No, I would not. No, I would not have.
You had a step-shaped hole in your heart that you were trying to fill.
Bro, I would have never in my entire life wanted another girlfriend during college. I wanted to experience college. The reason why I broke up with my girlfriend at the time is because I wanted to experience college. Junior year was the year I wanted to experience college. I was like, all right, I'm an upperclassman, right? I'm getting girls who want me to punch them in the head. This is my opportunity to get head, right? This is my opportunity to fuck bitches. And it didn't happen. I got laid, I think, like 3 times. One girl I got with from Tinder, she came over and she wet my bed to the point where it smelled. You know what it smelled like? You ever walk by manure? You ever look at the cow with the manure?
Yes, I have seen.
That was
yes.
my room. And I'm like, woo-wee! It was fucking disgusting. And my room reeked. Like, I felt terrible for my rabbit because he had to huff it all in. So it was the most disgusting thing in the world. My bed looked like a waterbed.
This was senior year.
Yes.
Yeah. You said that junior year was the year you wanted to experience college, and right at the end, you found a nice girl who you could have settled down with, and instead, you just were like lonely all of senior year and bored. You had that girl come live with you because you thought maybe something would happen there, but then
no, I did not, Dave. All right, you're done telling stories. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. You are done telling stories. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. You are done.
I'm out of here. Actually.
You are done telling stories. Get out of my room.
All right. Well, I'll be back for more stories tomorrow if chat wants.
It's not like that. Don't think that, dude. What is no, no? I did not invite a girl over to be like, oh, I'm gonna get with you.
No, not like that.
She fucked Ace.
Yeah.
Remember? I didn't want to get with her at all. This girl came over because she's like, I need somewhere to stay and I need help. So she came over to my house chat and she got really annoyed with us in a week because I started singing the Star Spangled Banner to her when I would go to bed. So she would get really fucking annoyed with us. She hated me. We told her you can't fuck anybody here. She fucked my friend in like a week and a half on my couch, my grandma's couch. She's dead, by the way. So that happened and then she moved out like a week later. Like, what are you talking about?
No, because you guys were trolling her so hard. That was some of my favorite content that you and Corey ever did.
Yes.
That was so funny.
Chat, the VODs are deleted for this. It was godlike content. We would just troll this girl all day who lived with us.
Yeah. Anyway, I will get out of here.
Yeah, you just, Emmy, don't listen to him, okay?
Wait, what?
I'm not a creep.
I didn't say you were a creep. What are you talking about?
You made me look terrible.
How did I make you look terrible?
Jesus Christ.
Mad did nothing terrible.
Tell the stories Miz doesn't want you to tell. Dude, there's not many stories I won't tell. Right?
There are some stories that we should not tell just because it was like you know we were college students. We weren't always nice.
Really? No.
We were mean to that one guy. The guy who was living with Corey, who was like always eating Corey's food. Was it Corey?
Oh, chat, we were mean to somebody because he ate our friend's food. Is that a problem?
He lived with 3 of our friends. And it was bad times.
Yeah. No, we were good. All right, we're done here. We're done. Yeah, chat, he ate our food. So we beat the shit out of him.
Wait, did you think I was talking about her before?
No.
Okay.
No. You're a horrible human being. One in chat if you agree. One in chat if you agree. All right, we're done with these stories. We're done. Look at my hairline, chat. You see how bad this is? All right, well, I just wanted you to listen to one story, Emmy, and now she hates me. And Dave, thanks for everything. You're a fantastic person.
Well, no, it wasn't like that at all.
What?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like a sexual thing.
You made it sound like that.
How does that sound sexual?
I invite a girl over.
No, you had her come live with you.
Oh.
Sushi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I have nicknames for literally everybody.
Yeah.
We need more stories. They're really like there are a ton, chat. I mean, for example, one story I can think of is Dave just used to always eat only chicken at the cafeteria while we would all eat normal food. You would specifically ask for white chicken breasts.
Yeah. You did that too.
Yeah, but only with you to make you feel better.
No, Matt was actually very good friends with the manager of the cafeteria.
Oh yeah, I was always boys with everybody.
Yeah. You had a very good relationship with her, so she would hook us up. Like, she would, like, customize, like, the cereal choices to what we asked for, and she was like, and we would come in, and she would bring us, like, they didn't make just chicken breast, she would bring us the chicken breasts.
Yeah, no, chat, when it came, I know it's going to sound crazy to you, they don't believe I'm good to people in customer service. They think that I'm a garbage person.
You are one of my favorite people with customer
Yeah,
service.
but they have this warped, like, Twitch world where they're like, oh, like, you can't tell jokes or try to make fun and have fun with these people. So I one time tried to make someone
with a
laugh.
Camera. When you have a camera there. I feel
Right,
like
the
it
problem
does
was the
change
camera.
it,
But
yeah.
off camera when I did it, they loved it.
Yeah.
I was friends with every single person that was at different restaurants and stuff like that. They knew who I was.
Matt mortified me. You remember how uncomfortable you made me when we were first? You might not even, because you don't remember anything. But when we were first at school, there was this hoagie place near campus. We'd go there every day, and they accepted, like, our meal plan. And Matt walked in first day of school. This is, like, I look back now, it's so funny. It's so funny. But at the time, I was so embarrassed. I was like, leave them alone. You're giving them a hard time. But Matt comes in, this hoagie place, and he has his school ID, launches it across the counter at them, just, like, throws it down and slides over. He's like, I'll have the usual. Like that, like, they've never seen us before. Obviously, like, this is the first day, first night freshman year. It's like, even if they had seen it before, it would have been before the summer break. Like, they do not remember what his order is. Obviously,
But chat, guess what? Over time, they all became like we became friends on Facebook. And what would actually happen is I would go to this place. There'd be like a 30-minute line. I would walk up to the place, look the lady in the eye, go like that. And this is true. They would make my hoagies for me immediately and give it to me.
yeah.
They'd stop. They'd be like, got you. And they'd just give me the shit. I'd be like, yo, thanks. Because I would just go there and become friends with them.
Yeah. The rest
All
of
of
us would try to be polite. Like, we'd be like, oh, hello, like, I would like a turkey hoagie, please, you know.
No,
like,
we would chill with them. They would come to our booths. They would hang out with us.
We did that.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of us, not you, would be like, please, can we get that turkey hoagie? And you were doing your thing, you had to throw the ID, or you're like, come on, why is my food not ready yet? Like, as soon as you walk up, before you even order, that sort of thing.
Yeah, dude,
But-
we became friends with all of them, Chad. And the lady who runs the whole thing would, like Dave said, she would make, let's say we wanted, like, this cereal. She'd be like, I got you. She would just give us this, like, she'd make the next day that cereal if we wanted it. Or whatever we wanted, she would just give it to us.
Like, she'd order. Like, she knew who to go to for the...
And then they would talk to us all the time about their lives. I knew some of them personally pretty well. I would hang out with them. And
They
when
loaned you their uniform. You went as a cafeteria worker
Yes.
for Halloween because they gave you a uniform.
they gave me their uniform to wear because they were like, damn, we fuck with you so hard. Because they were just like, whatever, do whatever. Like, there was like snack bars around campus, right? Every campus has this. And I would go up to them and they would just give me free shit. All the time. I'd be like, can I have one of those? Like, just take it. They didn't give a fuck. It was pretty sick.
Oh my gosh, it's Hachu.
That's a disgusting ass sweater.
Yeah, I know.
Cringe. What's going on with you?
I got a present for you.
You had a present for me?
It's cute.
Wait, where'd you get this?
Arcade.
You went to the arcade without me. Fuck you.
That's the present.
Dude, Hachubby, this is nice. Can we also talk about something? Alright, Hachubby. You went in my hot tub. You came inside. You got water everywhere.
It was soaked. There was water everywhere.
My wood is stained. Because you got so much water everywhere.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's all she. Oh no.
My wood is warped.
Your wood is.
I'm so sorry. That's why I.
So you got me a 70-cent mushroom to make up for my $4,000 of wood that I have to get
I
fixed.
used $20 for this.
Am I being a bad friend, chat? Am I being a dick? I'm being a dick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If there's one thing I learned from hanging out with you is I gotta apologize as well. I'm sorry, Hachubby. I didn't know. I'm a bad friend. I'm a monster. You can use my hot tub whenever you want. You can use my hot tub whenever you want.
Really?
And you can leave water wherever you want.
Okay. I'll clean it later.
Do you know who Dave is?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like Dave?
Yeah, he's hot.
Oh, got you. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
I was just gonna say I was nice.
What the hell, Hachabi?
What?
That's fine. Thank you for the present.
Yeah.
You know what? You're not so bad after all these years.
What did you say?
I said Dave's hot.
Thanks, Matt.
Dave's hot. All right, I need to go get some fucking food, and I need to go do a bunch of shit. Dave, it was some good stories.
More stories tomorrow?
No shot in hell, Dave. That's enough of the ones that won't get me canceled. All right, we're done.
There's so many other good stories.
Dave, I'm done.
All right, see you, Chad. It was nice meeting you. Damn, I was here for a while.
You owe her a fuck. Here, Chad, talk about yourself. I have a salad upstairs. Being around Dave makes me feel fat.